Farm Agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
The Dickinson Avenue Public House is a lively and diverse restaurant in Greenville that utilizes fresh and local ingredients. With influences of Creole, Asian, and upscale Southern cuisine, the Dickinson Avenue Public House offers a seasonally rotating menu and a full-service bar with rotating craft brews on tap. Come to the intersection of 8th and Dickinson and enjoy $1 off drafts on Tuesday, half-price flights on Wednesday, half-price wine bottles on Thursday, and $1 oysters Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 to 7. For more details, check out their website at daphousenc.com.
This is Dr. Hasty from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as a walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates.
Hey Pirates, this is Holton Ahlers. A big part of my success on the field is what I eat at home. To keep my body filled up, I order meals off a Clean Eats meal plan. I choose the meals I want from 6 different meals offered each week, and I pick them up on Sunday or Monday at the cafe on Red Banks Road. Each meal is packed with the perfect mix of healthy proteins, carbs, and veggies to keep my engine running at full speed. Go to cleaneats.com, click on meal plans, or stop by the cafe and get all the info. Clean Eats and the Pirates, a winning combination.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
There's local politics, bud.
I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand.
Was that supposed to be funny?
Get these clowns out of here.
Why would they do that?
You were having a freaking game.
Dude. It's a cocky bunch, man.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome in to a Football Friday and a Free Beer Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios. Coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can find us still on 1250, still on 930, and PR927FM.com. Watch the program and be a part of the program with your comments on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Got a lot of great stuff on our YouTube page, including interviews with Mike Houston, Donnie Kirkpatrick, Blake Harrell from this week, all of our Pirate Radio Live shows, the Brian Bailey Show, and a lot more. All there for you on our YouTube page, Pirate Radio TV. Subscribe there, and of course on Facebook. We are updating the Pirate Nation on what is going on with stories and also our live programming, videos, pictures, all that as well. So make sure you're following us there and check us out and be a part of today's program. All right, Shirley Rhodes is here. CJ Schaefer is here. And we got some guests to get to on this program. We will talk some golf and some football in hour number 1 with Mark Greenheld from the Golf Shop Radio Show. He will join us en route to Myrtle Beach, so got that on the way in about 45 minutes or so. Tony Dunn, CarolinaCatChronicles.com, will talk about the Panthers' final preseason tune-up, and it appears we're going to see some Baker Mayfield tonight for the Panthers when they take on the Buffalo Bills. So we'll talk to Tony Dunn about that, what's been going on this week in Panthers camp, and look around the NFL news and notes. That'll come up in hour number 2. Tail end hour number 2, we'll talk to Billy Weaver, co-host of the U.S. Sailor Fifth Quarter Call-In Show. Weave has been in the Windy City this week, and in fact, will join us from there. So we'll talk to Weave coming up later on in the program. Morgan Ahlers will get you ready for the high school Friday night schedule, as he will have the high school huddle coming up at 6. We'll talk to him about week 1. Also, week 2 of the high school season coming up tonight. Conley and Carey in action right here on Pirate Radio later on this evening. Morgan will also talk Pirate football with us, as we are just a week and a day away from ECU and NC State. Brian North joins us on the program in hour 3 as well. So we are wall to wall, a lot of football talk and sports talk this 3 hours today on Pirate Radio Live. Shirley, CJ, hello, fine people. Shirley's pecking. She's got it.
I got it.
What's up?
Nothing much. Happy Friday.
What's up? Happy Friday. It'll be a happy Friday for one lucky listener and caller, because in hour 3, we've got an 18-pack of 12-ounce Bud Light bottles that can be yours. So stick around for that, and you will be rewarded in hour 3. CJ, how you doing, man?
Good. Little tired, little groggy.
We are all struggling for some reason.
Just a little bit.
Struggling.
Was the party last night and we all hung out too late?
Well, Troy was telling us earlier in the week that it was going to be Thursday, so I showed up Thursday. I partied by myself, but I partied, and now I'm feeling it.
All right. Yeah, we're going to soldier through this.
I did not do that.
Well, I'm gullible.
What did I do last night? I didn't really do anything last night.
What did I do last night? I watched a baseball game.
I did something last night I don't do a lot of.
What's that?
Have a phone conversation with somebody for over 3 minutes. And that conversation was with Jeff Nadeau.
Oh.
Because it did come out last night that he is back at Barstool Sports. And he was just talking about some things. He's got some big ideas for a basketball podcast. Really wants to make it to Greenville. And just kind of chatting about some of that stuff. So congratulations to the big man back at Barstool. Also will join us throughout the football and college basketball season here on Pirate Radio. So I did that. 2022, right? You just text. You don't talk on the phone.
Right.
Y'all talk on the phone to anybody? Shirley, you're on the phone a lot. Like, you have a lot of people calling you.
I have a lot of people that call me.
I know your ringtone more than I know my own ringtone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's pretty bad, actually.
You need a secretary just for personal calls.
Just for personal calls? Yeah. I'm thinking about putting Chandler in charge of that, just giving him one more thing to do here at the studio. But, no, I get a lot of phone calls. I try not to stay on the phone for very long unless it's something that really needs discussion. Like if there is a big juicy piece of gossip that comes my way, then you're going to have to spill the tea, and I imagine it's going to take a little more than 5 minutes. So,
okay. Can't include all that in the text. That's got to be a phone call.
No, that has to be a phone call because there are follow-up questions that need to be asked. There are details that you can't necessarily articulate in text messages. So, that requires a phone call. But and that's about it, I think. I mean, most of my phone calls are fairly short. Usually it's a niece or nephew wanting money.
Another thing I rarely do, and I was going to do it the other day live on the air, but it was about to say CJ's phone number on the air, so I cut it off. But voicemails. I don't listen to voicemails nor leave voicemails.
I don't.
Instead of leaving a voicemail saying, "Call me, give me a call back, thanks," just text the person.
Right.
Give me a call.
Originally.
Right. I do get voicemails, but my problem is, well, first of all, my phone has decided to just do whatever the hell it wants to do, because normally I will get a little icon in the top corner of my phone that tells me I have voicemail. I don't get that now. And so a lot of times I'll miss voicemail primarily because I don't get that notification anymore for some reason. And I've never done anything to require it to turn off, but so I'll miss it. Usually it's like doctor's offices, things like that. But you're right. I don't leave voicemail at all. Usually I'll shoot a text, but I'll listen to it if I have it just in case. But for the most part, I don't ever know when I have them.
Here's a question. So my dad randomly called, and I answered, and he said, "Hey, do you have a house phone? What do you call it?
Landline?
Well, yeah, and the actual phone." And
the phone itself
that he could use. It was something to do with like programming an alarm at his fish farm, and he needed a landline phone to do it. And I was like, "Great question. Let me ask Judy, because I have no idea." And she knows where everything is in the house, and of course found it. And but CJ, in your residence right now, do you have a landline?
Absolutely not. We'll never own one.
Do you?
An
Do you have a
actual
landline? Yes.
or a phone?
Do you have? Well, first, do you have a landline?
No.
Okay, well then you don't have a phone.
I have one, but it's one that I used ages ago.
You have the phone, but you don't.
It's not in use. Yes.
I wonder what percentage of people, listening right. Oh, there! Hey, that was Shirley's ringtone. What do you know? I wonder
Getting a phone call in the middle of the show. How rude!
So we're not using the phone at home. So that's 0% of us using a landline. 66.66666% of us have a phone that we're not using.
Good math.
So I wonder what those numbers look like across the board with landlines now.
I do know someone that still has a landline.
Well, sure. So
it cracks me up because
my grandma.
This woman is older than I am. I'm not going to say how much older.
Oh my God! Is this a setup?
Yes, because it's CJ.
So I wanted to hear it again.
It was a setup.
It popped up. It said CJ. I'm like, come on, man. Right here.
Man.
Yeah, it's a Tegan and Sarah song.
Right.
It's called Closer, by the way. But she said the reason why she has a landline is because in case there is a storm and the power goes out, she can't charge her phone. She can use the landline to call if she needs help. And I thought, okay, well, that's kind of a rational explanation. However, the rest of us have cell phones, and if the power goes out and we can't charge our phones, there's no one for you to call. So it's kind of a 50-50 deal.
So
but
her
that
phone
was her rationalization of keeping a landline.
The only reason is for disaster prep, which that's fine.
Basically,
that's good.
yes.
All right. I like it.
A backup plan.
So the Chan Man is not here today. He is doing PA for
ECU
volleyball game.
Yep.
Do we have a score update on that?
Actually, give me a minute and I'll get you one.
That was a fake question, a rhetorical question.
Oh.
I know the answer to it.
Oh, what would that be?
Well, let's see. CJ, do we have a score on the game that's happening right now?
Oh, it's not till 5.
Oh. Wait,
the game's not till 5.
That can't be right because Chandler's not here. Because he went to go do PA for a volleyball game.
Oh, I get it because it was a joke.
So what's the score of the game Chandler's doing, Shirley, right now? Well, since he's not here.
What's going on?
Well, as it stands right now, there is a volleyball game that's going on as we speak.
So Chandler's doing that game?
No.
So when's his game?
5 o'clock.
What time is it?
3:11.
Why is Chandler not here?
Are we doing the Rage Room right now?
Hold on. Is this game on the road? Is ECU playing at, NC State?
No, this is at home.
It's at Minji's, right? Is there a bad traffic today? Is he walking to the game?
Hitchhiking.
What in the world?
Oh, I really hope he's not listening right now. Because he was here earlier when I was making promos, and Chandler was getting a little upset because he felt like I was singling him out on some of the promos, a.k.a. Mr. Long Snapper.
You roast the ones you love.
I roasted him on the promos, and now he's getting roasted. He's not even here.
It just seems like
Now, in Chandler's defense, he was told to attend. He was supposed to be there at a certain time, and that was what he was told to do. Now, whether or not he starts at 5.
What time is that?
I don't.
I know.
3:30, I thought.
Oh, here we go. We got an update from Chandler, who is tuned in. Oh, no.
Uh-oh, what?
He says, I was told to be at Minji's at 3:45, you asshat.
Directly referring to you.
He called you an asshat.
All right. Well, I understand now, Chandler. By the way, what time is it, Shirley?
3:12.
Oh, okay. Chandler, you still have 33 minutes. 34 minutes to get there. What's the problem? Am I the asshat? I guess I'll wear the ass hat. I just hope you make it on time, man. Like the Oregon Trail. Don't die of dysentery on the way to Minji's.
I wore that shirt yesterday.
On that long Oregon Trail to Minji's Coliseum.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he has to get a snack and, eat something. Eat something.
Eat something.
Eat something.
Eat something.
He needs to get fueled up.
I guess he's answering my question of what he said. Wouldn't have time, dog.
Eat?
He did say he has to walk over.
Oh, yeah, you have to park like 1,000,000 miles away just to walk over there.
You park at Minji's.
No, not while school is in session because you'll get towed. Or you'll get a ticket.
This is all bogus, man. All bogus.
And I'm telling you because I have to do the same thing tonight.
Chandler, I'm just joking, man. We're just joshing you. But seriously, come to work. Show up to work sometime. This is back-to-back Fridays, by the way.
Well, I've got a couple of Fridays I'm going to miss. I hate to tell you.
Sure you are. Everybody does.
Except you?
Yep, except me. I'll be here. CJ, when's your next Friday off? I know it's coming.
Not for the foreseeable future.
You're not bitter, are you?
No, I just enjoy talking junk.
I think we should all take next Friday off.
All y'all take Fridays off so I can keep talking about it. I enjoy it.
I'm going to go watch another day baseball game.
Yeah. Or take like 6 hours to drive 2 hours to go to Richmond?
That's right.
Okay. Just checking.
Jenny says, what about the 3 hours we work before you wake up, potentially? Jenny.
Yeah, Clip.
It's about to get too real, so let's not.
Oh, no. I just went cross-eyed.
Hey, look, Jenny, I know you're in the trenches. I know y'all work hard, and I just enjoy picking on people. So you stay in the trenches. I'm going to stay here in the AC doing nothing. Keep doing you, and we all get it done.
Boo.
We all get it done. It is Friday. It is time for high school football. It's time for Conley football coming up tonight. 1-0 after a nice win against Laney last week. Conley will take on Cary tonight right here on Pirate Radio. Rose and Cleveland, you had a couple of powerhouses going at it there. West Craven at South Central.
Cleveland rocks.
Both teams 0-1 in that game. Somebody's going to leave 0-2 between the Eagles and the Falcons. Northampton County is at 1-0 Washington. Manio is at 0-1 North Pitt. It'll be Aiden Grifton looking for their first win of the season against a 1-0 Kinston. And Farmville Central, the Jags, trying to get their first win of the season as they are at North Lenoir.
Yeah, they had a tough outing.
Tough outing,
Coach
Jeff.
Ron Cook said that, they had a real good, I guess you could say, camp prior to, they had a couple of scrimmages and everything looked good. They looked really good. They didn't turn the ball over. And then first game of the season, they cough up the ball 3 times. And you just can't fumble the ball that many times and be able to catch up. So looking for that first win. C.J. Wilson looking for his first win at North Pitt. So it's going to be a lot of high school football tonight. Looks like the weather's going to be pretty decent tonight, so we don't have to worry about games getting moved up and shuffled around and all that stuff.
Wow, could we really have back-to-back Fridays to start the high school football season that go off without a hitch? Miracles
we'll
happen.
find out in about 2.5 hours, but I think so.
Miracles happen every day, and they're happening on back-to-back Fridays here in Eastern North Carolina. That would be fantastic.
Keep an eye out on your Havelock Rams, looking to go 2-0.
You need to give us a weekly Havelock update because I'm only going over Pitt County and Washington High School. Who do they play, CJ?
I believe it's West Carteret.
Okay.
Last Friday was a 42-0 win over Croatan.
All right.
Okay, now, correct me if I'm wrong here. Okay, so you have a West Carteret, you have an East Carteret, correct? Okay, which one... Isn't one of them in a different division?
East Carteret. They're a very small school. West Carteret's in Moorhead.
Okay, so West Carteret. Okay, so at one point, I'm sure East Carteret was probably 2A at some point.
Probably.
Okay, that's the one that we always loved going to when we were in high school because we would have to take the bus and leave at like 11 o'clock in the morning because those buses only went 35 miles an hour.
Oh, they're out there.
Yeah, and you had to drive. So it took all day for you to get to the school, play a game, and then half the night to get back.
Chandler's team, they used to travel, I think, 2 days before to get to their destination on Fridays.
Oh, Whiteville?
Yeah. wherever he would.
Clayton, Roseville, Rose Hill, where Fayetteville, where is he from again?
They would leave Wednesday night, I think.
Philippines.
To get there.
Oh, okay.
JP2, John Paul II, will play on the road tonight at Northwest Halifax. So they are 1-0 after a win last week. So good luck to all the area high school football teams. And hopefully, folks, if y'all are bored, looking for something to do tonight, want to watch some live football, go support your local high school team. All right, other news and notes. I'll tell you what, we'll get to this in our ECU report. Ruffin McNeil spoke earlier today. I think we got a couple of cuts to play there from Ruffin McNeil wearing the red now. And also more Mike Houston, Donnie Kirkpatrick, and Blake Harrell. So we'll get to that when we return on Pirate Radio Live, talk some Pirate football, get you ready for the Pirates and the Pack. Going on a week from Saturday, week 0 this Saturday. We'll talk about that during today's show as well. More to go on a Free Beer Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Here today with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. Hey Jeff, how's inventory going?
Inventory levels are increasing. For the first time in over 45 days, we have Mazdas in stock, Buick in stock, Cadillac in stock, and GMC in stock. I highly encourage the customer to go to gmc.com, build and price their vehicle, share that with Brown & Wood, and let us place your order. We need some price protection for these customers, and you got to place an order to have that.
Brown & Wood, your #1 dealership in Greenville, and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
Do you have an old injury or just some pain that keeps holding you back? It's time for you to get better. With Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, we can help you get your life back. Whether you need to get back to a sport, back in the gym, or just back to enjoying life, our team of specialists use a one-on-one, hands-on approach in our state-of-the-art facility to get you back moving again. Don't settle for where you are. Don't stay in pain. Visit kptonline.com today to see how Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting pirates.
The Wood Ducks are hosting the 3rd annual Kinston Cornhole Classic on Saturday, September 17th, sponsored by Brooks Pool Realty. Gates open at 10 a.m. and the tournament starts at 11. There will be 3 brackets with cash prizes for the top 3 teams from each bracket. The cost is $80 per team, and to register, please contact Maddie Meehan at MMEEHAN@woodducksbaseball.com or call 252-686-5165. We will see you at the 3rd annual Cornhole Classic on September 17th at Granger Stadium.
Make a splash with Bassett Triple Summer Savings from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Hot looks, cool styles. Kick back, relax, and upgrade your seats and save. Buy any regular price Bassett recliner, sofa, or sectional and get $50 to $150 off every additional seat with free local delivery plus 12-month special financing. Shop our wide selection on in-stock bedrooms, dining rooms, and other living rooms. And save the sales tax and get free local delivery now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Unfortunately, many organizations today simply react to IT issues after the damage is done. This is known as the break-fix cycle in the tech service industry. University PC Care's Business Services Division has a better way, a proactive solution called BizCare. What's at your office? Call William at University PC Care today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
Pirate Radio. The voice of the Pirate Nation.
1, 2, 3,
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Vacation spots are right here in our very own backyard. You can take a trip to a state park and enjoy traditional camping, RV space, and also air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi. If you're by a lake, be sure to check out the opportunities to rent a canoe or kayak and get out on the water. Your next adventure is right around the corner. For more information, please visit ncstateparks.gov. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live, Free Beer Friday, Football Friday edition of the show. Clip Rock, Shirley Road, CJ Schaefer here. The Chan Man doing some volleyball PA. Well, later today at 5 o'clock. Did say he had to be there at 3:45. It's 3:24. He probably could be here now and still get over there. But look, he's doing what he has to do. Steve Hill had a score update on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Buck. No score in the volleyball game Chandler's doing yet because it starts hour and a half from now. But he did say the score is Chandler 1, Pirate Radio Live 0. So Chandler with an early lead on us.
How is it that he got the point and we didn't?
Because we're here and he's not.
Because we're here and he's not.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna
Hey,
say.
after the show, we might have time. Let's go to Minji's and heckle Chandler doing PA.
Well, I have to be there anyway because I'm doing the 7:30 game, so you might as well join me.
So Chandler's game is not ECU related, correct? It is part of their tournament, but
it's part of their tournament.
So you got an ECU game tonight?
Yes.
And you of course know who they play, and you don't have to stall and look up who they play, right?
It's Furman.
Ah, that a boy.
Negative.
Oh, that a girl.
Towson.
I tried my hardest.
He is doing Furman and Norfolk State. That's the 5 o'clock game, and then ECU takes on Towson at 7:30. That's the one I'm doing.
The Fighting Maskoviches. The Towson Tigers. All right, so ECU volleyball in action. Soccer picking up a win last night on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Buck.
Buck.
Knocked off the Panthers of...
Oh, High Point.
High Point. Picked up a win.
Only reason I knew that is because I actually read the article.
There you go.
Actually, I didn't know what their mascot was.
Can you recite any more things from that article, or
no? I just read the headline.
That's a lot
High Point
different than reading the
that ECU beat High Point.
Sound like you read it well.
Yes. That's all I did. Well, I mean, I didn't want to go too much into detail because I was looking for other things, so I just glanced it.
ECU knocks off High Point. I'll take it. A dub. They had a tough schedule to start the year. They played Duke and South Carolina, I want to say, and got off to an 0-2 start against two really good teams, but picked up a win over the Panthers last night. So congratulations to them. All right, let's talk some Pirate football. Earlier today, Ruffin McNeil did a Zoom and was asked questions by a lot of Greenville media folks, and we got a couple of those comments. You can see more of those comments, and do we have it in its entirety, actually? You've got quite a bit of it. Okay. Well, so that's on our YouTube, Pirate Radio TV. But we got a couple of cuts here, and he talks about some of his memories as not just a coach, but also a player with East Carolina.
Well, as a coach, a player, it was great. I was learning, had great teammates. That Hall of Fame coach was our coach, and we had a great team unity and success then. But as a coach, that first game you mentioned, Patrick, was big because it was my second stint as a head coach. I had served the interim at Texas Tech before then, but that was a big day. Another day was when Justin Hardy broke the record for receiving receptions. I thought that was great. And then the last day, anytime I had those seniors had to leave, and it was our last game in Dowdy Ficklin, it was tough, but it was very memorable to me. It was very special to me. Each group, that hug, that final hug of leading them to the next stage in their life, like going from a lamb to a ram, the next part of them. So those are things that come to mind quick.
All right, Ruffin McNeil there on his memories coaching here at ECU, and also talked about controlling his emotions when he's back here in Greenville at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, taking on the Pirates next Saturday.
Well, it's the first time I was thinking about when Annabelle had set everything up for the day. I know the question would be, could predict the question might be how would it feel. And I went back over 43 years of coaching. I don't remember, I do remember a little, but as a player and a coach at one institution, and now as a coaching against that, has never happened before. So the emotion will be different. I know I have, like you said, BB played on that turf and also coached on that turf. So I'm sure there'll be some emotional feelings there. I was 17 years old the first time I played on that thing. So that was many moons ago. And so I'm looking forward to that. And then I'll be able to tell you how it feels once I step on that. I've never had an opportunity to ever have that comparison and that mutual competition or feelings that I'll have next Saturday.
All right, there is former ECU head football coach and, of course, East Carolina football player as well, Ruffin McNeil, who will be back in town on the NC State side of things coming up next Saturday. Just another storyline in this rivalry game to kick off the 2022 season. And we're geared up here. We got our party next Thursday. We'll be here 8 a.m. next Saturday morning on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, taking you up to the kickoff. And then after the game, the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show, myself, Weave, Shirley, all the crew here at Pirate Radio, taking your calls until the last caller is served. And that should be a hot show with a lot of interest, a lot of calls, win, lose, or there is no draw. So win or lose, that's going to be a hot one coming up to kick off this football season. Want to get to some Houston, Donnie K, and Harold, but I just saw this on Twitter. So this is, y'all will see this video. This guy is walking through a line. It's a very long line. It's like a Disney-esque line, and they are waiting to get an autograph from Terry McLaurin. It is a very long line.
Oh wow!
It's 2022. We're older now, myself and Shirley more so than CJ, but would you wait in a line that long? And that is a long line to get an autograph. And if so, who would be on the other end of that line signing that autograph?
I don't think I'd wait in a line that long for an autograph. Maybe a picture, but certainly not outside.
So you're outside on concrete in the heat. You do have to factor that in. Now, you're going to, while he's signing the autograph, you could do a quick selfie if that's what you choose to do.
Yeah.
Or do you need to do an arm around like me and my friend Aaron Jones at Subtalks?
I guess I would prefer something like that. If I'm going to wait in a line that long, I'd prefer it to be.
Well, that's the question. Would you wait in a line this long for an autograph? Your answer sounds like no.
No.
Ben Roethlisberger?
No.
Heinz Ward?
No.
Some rapper I've never heard of?
No.
Some soccer player?
Nope.
All right.
Nobody.
CJ says no. Shirley?
I have stood in lines that long.
When?
Not outside, though.
When?
They were inside.
When?
The cons, hello.
Hello, Clip.
Excuse me?
Come on, man.
The cons.
So the
conventions
events you've been going
the
so
events
recently.
yes.
So you would wait that long.
I have. waited that long. And usually what we do is
what if it was
now if it was outside, I would probably complain a lot.
But would you sit through it and complain, or would you?
I would sit through it and complain. Now, if it was the question is, would I sit in that line that long outside for someone I do not have an autograph or / selfie for? If it was Abby Wambach, yes.
Okay.
Just because she is elusive when it comes to autographs and things like that. So, yes, that would be someone I would stand in line for.
I just don't think
But I'm smart. I would bring a lawn chair and sit.
Here's a question. Do you think
you need a lawn chair with wheels so you could just roll right on up there? Like, not even have to get up. Because if you bring a chair, you're going to have to keep, like, getting up and moving the chair. Right.
But a lawn chair you can fold up and carry with you once you get out of line. And
I know. I'm just saying, you duct tape some wheels to that bad boy.
Why haven't we thought of this? Why haven't we thought of
just did
not retractable, but detachable wheels
on
to lawn chairs?
Yeah.
That way, the next time I get in line for the equipment sale at ECU, I got wheels. I ain't got to get up.
We just Shark Tanked it here. All right, so
genius move, Clip.
Yeah, I don't know if I can't think of anybody I would stand in line for more than like 25 to 30 minutes to wait for them.
I was going to ask, do y'all think the value of an autograph has gone down? Because,
I'm not getting an autograph to sell it. It's all about what, are you going to sell it?
Well, no, I just don't really care about
It's your
autographs.
personal value. It's part of getting older, and I think also times change, too. Our autograph, like you said, a picture or a selfie is better than an autograph now, maybe.
That's how I view it. I don't know if there are people who
because it's so much easier to get a picture as opposed to an autograph. Now, in terms of value, I agree with Clip. It just is personal value.
Yeah,
I do have an autographed Abby Wambach jersey, but I wouldn't sell it. I don't know how much money I would get for it to start with, number one, but I also have autographed stuff from Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. But to someone it might be a whole lot, but for me it's the personal stuff. So and it's just so much easier. It's quicker to get a selfie with someone than it is to get an autograph. So I kind of see it from both ends of the spectrum there.
There's a signed, and this looks like
now. If you get something from a collections website and try to get something, you're going to pay through the nose.
Yeah. I guess this is an authentic helmet. Terry McLaurin signed a Redskins helmet, $349 on eBay.
Wow.
That's just, I don't know. Just don't have the interest in things like that as I once did. I still got a couple buddies who are buying and selling base cards nowadays.
Oh, really?
See, now, baseball cards.
So into that stuff.
That's one thing I can understand. Collectible type stuff, like a card, or I know Big Dog with the collectible figures.
Yeah.
Will take those and get signed. I can understand that stuff for sure.
I'm actually looking at, let's go soccer here, just not your standard.
Chandler, how's your day been going? Oh, sorry.
Well, Chandler still has 9 minutes till he has to get there, so he might still be tuned into us. I don't know. He could be snacking right now.
He could be. If you wanted a Mia Hamm signed, photo, just a little 16 by 20 photo, right now it's running you about $270.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Brandy Chastain, if you remember who Brandy Chastain is.
How much is a signed sports bra from Brandy Chastain?
This one is a signed jersey. It's not a sports bra.
Is it the jersey she removed?
Not the jersey she removed.
Okay.
But this one's $180. So, and they've got other soccer ones like Messi, Ronaldo.
You can buy me a ham sandwich for about $2.50.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
That's the kind of jokes we do here on this program.
A signed Megan. Do you remember during the World Cup when Megan Rapinoe? Let me give you a late run shot. Megan Rapinoe, the pose that she gave during the World Cup.
She did Randy Orton's thing and got cheered for it.
Chandler.
Oh, here we go.
Cheered.
a picture of the Sports Illustrated cover with Brandy Chastain with shirt removed.
Yes.
That, if you want it framed and everything, $255.
Man.
You want Megan Rapinoe's autographed and inscribed framed photo from the World Cup. That's $300.
All right, there's your women's soccer
and that's just on the low end.
memorabilia update.
The reason why I went soccer is because I wanted to kind of show you the difference between, what you were talking about and that.
All right, let's get a couple of Mike Houston cuts in here before we take a timeout. Get to Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show. Mike Houston was asked cut 5, Shirley. Are the guys excited that the camp's over? You're starting to dive into NC State. Do you feel that excitement building with the players?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why, I was so pleased. We talked about what we had to accomplish this week. I was so pleased with yesterday's practice. It's just, it's getting more real. Now, this time next week, it'll be real. I mean, they're excited about the first game of the regular season, and they're excited about the opponent. So, that's really helping.
All right. I believe, asking the tell the older guys like Holton Ahlers, Jeremy Lewis, have already started to look ahead at NC State as the team starts to. So they've been doing a lot of their own film work. They've talked about it here in the Players Lounge, trying to get ahead. Now that everybody as a group is starting to watch film, get ready for the Wolfpack, does it seem like these guys are maybe a step ahead of others?
Oh, yeah. I mean, but it's like last night. You got players calling coaches and looking at cut-ups of practice. You watch practice today with them. I mean, they're wanting to watch it last night and wanting to watch some of the picture pages and, some of the situations and stuff. And so, those older guys, I thought really that was kind of the next step that the program took last year was the extra prep that I saw so many players putting in during the week on their own to where they knew the opponent so well on game day. And that's the difference between an average player and one that's really prepared to play great on game day.
Mike Houston was also asked kind of on that note, with all the upperclassmen on this year's roster, does he feel like he has a second set of coaches on the field?
Kind of.
Like an on the field.
Yeah. No, and it's, what you like is, when some of your best players are also your hardest workers and your leaders, that's when things really start to go well. And we're getting more and more of that. And, we have these pro scouts around here. I told the team today, I said, they don't ask me what kind of player you are. They'll make that decision. They ask me about your character. They ask me about your work ethic, your leadership. They ask me if you're high maintenance. They ask me if you have issues off the field. And so many of the guys are being such good leaders in those areas. So, that's where, the program really has taken the next step.
Mike Houston there. We'll hear more from Coach Houston, Donnie Kirkpatrick, Blake Harrell throughout today's program on Pirate Radio Live. We'll take a timeout. When we return, Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show joins us. We'll give you an update on what's going on right now at the Tour Championship down in Georgia, and also talk some Live Tour and some football as well. Greeny's Clemson Tigers have a primetime game week 1. We'll discuss that and more when we return on PRL after this.
This isn't your regular cola, so this isn't your regular cola ad. No beach parties or family barbecues here, just Nitro Pepsi, the first cola ever infused with nitrogen. So forget everything you thought you knew about soda, because that nitrogen gives us a whole new experience. Think an infusion of smaller bubbles for a cola that's got a lighter, smoother texture. And don't get me started on the pour. You don't pour this like any other cola. We're talking turn the can completely upside down and watch as those bubbles cascade into the glass to create a frothy, luxurious foam topping. Can your cola do that? I didn't think so. Unless you've got your own Nitro Pepsi, in which case cheers to your great taste. Because you already know that the only thing better than the pour is the unapologetic cola taste. What else is there to say? From the creamy foam to the smooth texture to its unbelievably delicious flavor, this is cola like you've never had it before. Time to bring your taste buds to the next frontier. Nitro Pepsi. Smooth, creamy, delicious.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holton Ahlers for my friends at ArcPoint Labs. Just as I trust my teammates, you can trust ArcPoint Labs to give you quick and accurate results for your laboratory testing needs. ArcPoint Labs provides insights and solutions to enable individuals, businesses, and communities to make informed decisions on their health, safety, and well-being. Visit any of the 6 Eastern North Carolina ArcPoint Labs locations or go to arcpointlabs.com. Go Pirates!
When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, you can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today. The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates. The doors open at noon, 7 days a week. And the Buck has live music every night along with football. Monday is open mic night the first Monday of each month. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday, it's acoustic night. Thursday, it's the dance party with DJ Kid Scene and live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for information and schedule of events. This season, party like a pirate at the Buck.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holton Ahlers, and when it comes to getting your family together, there's no better place than Familia, which is Italian for family. Familia is the place I like to bring my football family, especially my offensive linemen. Whether it's great New York style pizzas, homemade meatballs, lasagna, chicken parmesan, or delicious homemade desserts, Familia is a winning play every time. For dine-in or takeout, make Familia your go-to play when you have a hungry team. Familia on Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College. Go Pirates!
Pabst is the place where friends come to gather, a place where the party naturally goes, a place where someone is microwaving a burrito, a place where a kitchen. It's a kitchen. Pabst Blue Ribbon. This is the place.
Hey Pirate fans, get stocked up for tailgating season with PBR at your favorite retailer. Look for the QR code on the PBR display and register for a chance to win a PBR cooler full of beer. Game day or any day, all Pirates prefer PBR.
This is Ryan Jones, and you listen to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Need some beer for the weekend? The Jarvis Street Bottle Shop near Christie's Euro Pub is a specialty shop selling craft, domestic, and import brews, along with wine and growlers. The Bottle Shop offers monthly beer and wine tastings featuring rotating North Carolina craft breweries, along with live music and discounts. Stop by Tuesday through Sunday or check out the Jarvis Street Bottle Shop on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's Clip Brock.
All righty, we got some Bud Light to give away on today's program. We'll do it hour number 3, an 18-pack of 12-ounce Bud Light bottles. Bud Light, sponsor of the Pirate Radio Kickoff Party, and also the Bud Light pregame tailgate. A couple things coming up next week. How about we're less than a week away from the party and just a week and a day away from kicking things off. Pirates and Wolfpack, exciting time. We will talk more football throughout today's show. We'll talk a little football and some golf right now with Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show. He joins us here on the Pit Electric live line. Greeny, how you doing on this Friday?
I'm doing great. I'm heading on down to Myrtle Beach right now, so good times.
All right. Is this business or pleasure or both, Greeny?
A little bit of both. Obviously, this week is coming up is the World Amateur Handicap Championship. So, you know, me and about 3,500 plus of my closest friends are all traveling to Myrtle Beach. They're all playing in the golf tournament. I'll be actually broadcasting from Barefoot Golf and Resort. So fun times.
Good stuff. Hope you enjoyed that, Greeny. That'll be a lot of fun. As we look at what's going on right now, as the Tour Championship going on in Atlanta, Georgia, and Scotty Scheffler got the head start and is taking advantage of it. He is well out in front of the others right now, and it makes it really anticlimactic when it comes to who's going to win the event. I guess there are other players who are jockeying for spots and things like that, Greeny. I know we've talked about it in the past, but do you like the staggered scoring they use here? I think the answer to that is no, right?
Yeah, well, because you get some most of the time you don't, but this time you are getting it so far. You're getting the who can catch Scotty Scheffler open. I mean, Scotty went out and played a great round yesterday. You know, shot five under par to get himself a 5-shot lead, even though he only started with a 2-shot lead. So Patrick Cantlay didn't have the best day, shot even par. Xander Schauffele, who was actually my pick this week, had a nice round of 5 under to get himself within sniffing distance. But yeah, that's going to be the problem that you have the potential of getting, is that if the guy that starts out with a 2-shot lead plays really well, and the guys right behind him don't necessarily play well, then it does become very anticlimactic, and you don't get a whole lot of action over the weekend. Maybe we'll see if anybody else can make a little bit of a run and get back into it.
Yeah, right now Scheffler is rolling at 17 under, the official score there, 2 under today for Scotty Scheffler. All right, Greeny, all the talk is really about what's going to happen after this week, right? You do have the President's Cup coming up in September, and we'll see who is still around and who are the big names competing in that. But could be some more moves to the LIV Tour after this weekend, and starting to hear some stuff. And Greeny, you're there in Charlotte. You're into the golf world. Have you heard any Harold Varner III rumors this week regarding the LIV Tour?
I have not. We know that he had that conversation with Tiger, and Tiger basically kind of pointed him in the direction of don't go that route. And that's the other thing that's come out this week is, we knew we had the big meeting. Now the details are starting to come out. We've seen, Jay Monahan, the commissioner, talk about some of the changes that are coming. We've seen Rory. We've seen Tiger. We've seen a lot of money being pumped in. We've seen, a potential for an indoor team thing that Tiger and Rory are putting on. And, that's not going to be open to the LIV guys. So there's been a lot of things that have come out this week that if you were kind of on the fence or you were still considering LIV, you might have to reconsider that. I mean, I know that Rory had a sit-down with Cameron Smith and had kind of a one-on-one conversation with him to see if maybe he can maybe sway him a little bit from all these rumors. We don't know what came out of that. But, man, when you look at it, like if Scotty Scheffler continues to dominate this week as he's doing, he's going to end up winning $37 million this year in earnings, right? You got to think with everything that's coming in place, everything that's been announced, that number for somebody that does what he does next year is going to go over 50, maybe closer to $75 million. Now you're starting to talk that these guys that are getting, $200 million for a 4-year deal for LIV, so that's $50 million a year. Suddenly the PGA Tour looks pretty good, and you still get to play in everything against, the better players in the world right now, and in full fields and 72 holes. So the PGA Tour is starting to look a lot more lucrative than it did maybe even 2 weeks ago.
Greeny, trying to wrap my head fully around this this tech-infused golf league, the TGL that you talked about a moment ago with Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy launching it. And it's going to be team events, 6 3-man teams. They're going to compete. It's a virtual course. They will take place primetime Monday nights. And it looks like, according to the article I'm reading, the matches will likely be played between January and April. Each of the 6 teams competing 5 times during the 15-week schedule. So still a lot to learn about this thing. And we're not fully going to know until we see it with our own eyes. But I don't know. Is it too gimmicky for you? Is it something you might be interested in? What do you think?
Well, if people will watch 4 quarterbacks play terrible golf and raise a lot of money for charity, then I'm certainly confident that if Tiger Woods is going out to hit a bunch of golf shots, and what it'll be is the virtual shots will be the longer shots. They're going to have a full, short game area that will be actually live and in person. if people will watch all that garbage golf, they're certainly going to watch all these guys.
And what do we like about that, Greeny? We like the access, right, to those events where the guys are mic'd up, they're talking a little junk, they're being funny. I'm assuming it's going to be a similar deal with this, right, as far as the access we get to these guys.
Yeah, and from my perspective, I actually get to see maybe you get to see more of the creative mind that goes into a Tiger Woods, a Rory McIlroy, a Justin Thomas, a John Rahm. These guys that are thinking about, what are they thinking about when they hit these shots? What are they trying to do? How's it going to work? All this stuff, you'll start maybe to get a little insight into that, and I think people will flock to it, especially if Tiger's involved. I mean, and Rory, there's two of your alphas on the PGA Tour that everybody likes to watch.
Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show joining us, talking golf. Let's talk a little football, Greeny. Week 0 tomorrow. Got a couple of ACC teams in action as North Carolina taking on Florida A&M, and also Florida State in action against Duquesne. Charlotte will take on FAU, so you got a little North Carolina flavor there. Clemson will get it underway coming up week 1 against Georgia Tech, and that's on a Monday night, Greeny. What do you think about Monday night football to start the Tiger season?
I like it. Anytime that your team can get be the solo game on a night, I'll take it in prime time. But obviously we're in trouble because some seal at some place out in the West Coast has picked Georgia Tech. This is Georgia Tech helmet, so obviously Clemson's in trouble if the seal's picking Georgia Tech. But excited to see. The offensive line has been getting some rave reviews in the scrimmages, so that was one of the areas that was a concern, and DJ's been getting a little bit of love from the coaching staff as well. So we'll see if that actually comes to fruition. Remember, this was a game last year against Georgia Tech that we needed James Skalski and a couple of the linebackers to make some game-saving plays at the end of the game in order to win this thing. So hopefully it's not that close. Clemson should be able to get to 3-0 against Georgia Tech, against Furman and La Tech. And then how about this 3-game stretch, Greeny? And there's other tough ones on the schedule, but at Wake, NC State at home, and then at BC. It could be tricky, but that's a 3-game stretch beginning September, the end of September through early October, where you're going to have some competitive football there, I would imagine. Yeah, and Wake Forest is going to be without their quarterback, so that's an interesting offense. We'll see if they keep their kind of delayed offense that they run that Clemson seemed to handle pretty easily last year. Let's see if they keep that in play or if they do something else. So that's going to be a deterrent for them. BC, for some reason, is always a tough one for Clemson to go to BC. Never understood that, but we always seem to struggle up there in Beacon Hill. And then obviously the Wolfpack is going to be the one that you look at. But it seems to me the Wolfpack has been giving Clemson a little bit of bulletin board material, which is kind of a faux pas on their part, if you ask me. Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Golf Shop Radio Show Saturdays 8 to 10 a.m. on Pirate Radio. Greeny, what's on tap for Saturday? Well, like I said, I will be live in person at Barefoot Landing down at the Barefoot Golfing Resort, and we're going to talk to Trey Evans, who handles the marketing and some of the stuff for the resort down there. So we'll get some insight about that, as Play Golf Myrtle Beach is our title sponsor now. We're going to go over to Eastlake in the Atlanta area and talk to Dr. Bobby Jones IV, who's the grandson of the great Bobby Jones. And obviously Bobby's the one that created Eastlake, and there's a lot of memorabilia and stories there. So we'll check in there for the Tour Championship. We'll check in with Bill Bender a little later tomorrow. He'll be in the beginning of the 9 o'clock hour. And then we're going to talk to Chris King and see how the World Amateur's shaping up as they get ready to go, like I said, the 3,500 plus on Monday for the week, and see who comes out on top. Great stuff, man. Appreciate you joining us today. Have a great weekend down there at Myrtle Beach, and we'll talk more golf and more football with you coming up next Friday right here on Pirate Radio Live. All right, Cliff. Have a good weekend. Thanks. Thank you, Greeny. Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show. Have a more in-depth, I guess, Clemson, Georgia Tech preview on the show next Friday. We'll also be throwing it down to Tony sometime next week. Chandler had to be at Minji's 11 minutes ago, so he's not here today to do his Gary Hahn impression. That's a shame. But Tony Haynes going to join us next week on the program. Also, Gibby, Bailey's old friend at WNCT Channel 9, Todd Gibson, now a reporter in Raleigh. We'll talk a lot
from the ECU perspective, obviously, but also the NC State perspective coming up next week, game week, right here on Pirate Radio Live. That is exciting to say. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some Panthers football and some NFL with Tony Dunn, CarolinaCatChronicles.com. He'll join us here in the Pirate Radio studios, and we'll look around at what's going on in the National Football League when we return on PRL on a Free Beer Friday, giving away an 18-pack of Bud Light in hour 3 of today's show. A lot more to go. Back with you after this.
Are you suffering from anxiety, sleep issues, or chronic pain? Have you heard of CBD? You can learn about the benefits of CBD right here in Greenville at the Hemp Garden. Hemp Garden offers a variety of products and solutions that are truly making a difference in our community. Hemp Garden also provides products that can assist with energy and focus. Have a pet? Come check out their selection of CBD pet products. Visit Hemp Garden to speak with a CBD specialist in a relaxed and welcoming environment today. Exclusive discounts are offered to first-time customers. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Hello, Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in our community and region. Pitt County Schools is currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. Come work for a diverse, thriving school system and be an important part of ensuring success for the students of Pitt County who are the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
If you have family coming over this summer, the last thing you need is sweaty relatives. Guarantee your air conditioning system is ready to keep everybody cool. Call Delcor. Buy a new train system and make no payments until 2023. It's hard to stop a train. With inflation and high gas prices, you don't need another payment. So buy this month and make no payments until 2023. Go to DelcorInc.com or call 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's hot dogs?
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's hot dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's hot dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit GreenvilleAutoWorld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
Hey Pirate fans, this is head coach Mike Houston. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been taking care of our athletes here at East Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or if it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the folks who have been taking care of me and many of our fans in Pirate Nation or visit them online at orthopedicseast.com. Go Pirates!
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American Airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Well, keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is Clip Brock.
Hour 2, Pirate Radio Live. Welcome back into the program. All right, so North Carolina begins their season tomorrow. I'm kind of excited about their game against Appalachian State week 1. They actually get a tune-up game before that against Florida A&M. Have any of y'all been following the Florida A&M stuff on Twitter?
Yes, I have.
I saw a couple tweets, but I'm confused. I don't know what's going on.
So there were rumors floating around earlier today that Florida A&M had like 20 players ineligible to play, and there was a chance that they might not even make the trip to Chapel Hill, and players were boycotting and all this stuff. So Pete Thamel says Florida A&M. Well, how about this? Well, let's go to 2:20 p.m., so about an hour and a half ago. He says, sources, Florida A&M still hasn't boarded a flight in North Carolina for their game against UNC. There is an expectation that Florida A&M would be playing shorthanded, more than 10, facing eligibility issues. Expect a decision later today. He then tweeted at 2:40, so about 20 minutes after that, Florida A&M will play at UNC this weekend, a school spokesman told ESPN. And then 54 minutes ago, he says Florida A&M tells ESPN the school will be without 20 players against North Carolina because of eligibility issues. Florida A&M will have 8 eligible offensive linemen for the game against North Carolina.
8?
8!
Wow.
Now, there's probably no line on this game right now, and when you play FBS versus FCS, sometimes it's harder to find a line anyway, and it'll come out the day of. But this line was probably already like 40, and now what does it do? Move to 55? They might not even put a line out.
So did they specify what the eligibility issues are?
Yeah, I don't know about that as of right now, but I'm sure more will come out on it. But how does this happen the day before the game? It's very, very strange. But they have to make the trip, because I saw people putting it from a dollars perspective. And one writer said that including the money you get for going to Chapel Hill and everything included in it, this would be like 1/10 of their athletic budget for the entire year. So it is imperative that they play this game. So they're just going to put whoever they can out on the field so the school can get some money, and they can get beat by 67 points to North Carolina tomorrow. Tony Dunn is here. Hello, Tony.
Hello. Did the maid service come in? Well, it's nice in here. It's like clean. The mic's all pushed back. Everything's arranged nicely.
Maybe I tidied up.
Nice. Oh, good job.
I didn't, but
okay. Then don't actually act like
I said
that.
Maybe.
I know, but then we all knew that wasn't the case.
He's trying to take their credit.
Is it usually dirty in here?
No. I mean, it just looks exceptionally neat.
Tony, you look neat.
Thank you.
Yep. TD, before we get going in our Panthers NFL conversation, I brought this up with Shirley and CJ earlier. So this is a line, and there's the line, and it's a long line, and they're out in the sun and standing on concrete, and the line keeps going. This is like Disney World. You got to wait and wait. And this line is to get an autograph from Terry McLaurin.
Poor guy.
And it made me think, and I asked our crew here, is there anybody you would stand in a line for that long today to get an autograph?
Totally.
Other than Cam Newton.
Oh, other than Cam.
Was he going to be the guy?
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely, I have his autograph.
Did you get it personally?
Michael, my son, got it.
That's right, okay.
I sent him. And this
Training camp?
This is a funny story. We're at Fan Fest, and look, I mean, they go for the kids, right? And that's what we want them to. You hate those videos where you see, like, somebody snatch a baseball out of a kid's hand, or so the kids are all lining up there.
Or an adult leaning in over kids to get an autograph.
That's the most recent one, yeah. So I knew that the way that it was set up, there's no way I'm getting his autograph. And so I took my kids to FanFest. Michael was probably only 6 or 7 then. This was 2015, actually. So he's 14 now. Do the math. I'm not going to do it. He goes, I told him, I said this. I said, if you get me a Cam Newton autograph, I'll get you that $120 Lego set. And my man was like ducking and dipping and weaving through the crowd. And I got my Super Cam cape, my Homeman Superman cape, Super Cam cape signed by Cam Newton.
Very good. And Michael, by the way, is he into football at all?
Not one iota.
Yeah. Neither is my daughter.
My son is I would say at the stage, but now he's even getting to such a teenage stage. I was like, anything dad likes, he doesn't like. But then I give him crap for that, and he goes, Dad, I don't live my life based on your likes and dislikes. And I'm like, even then, you're still being a jerk about it.
Yep, there's no winning in that battle.
Gosh.
All right, so you've already got the Cam interview. Is there anybody
else? Oh, let's see.
The fact that you're even thinking about it is kind of surprising.
I would like a Barack Obama autograph. I think that would be cool.
Really?
That's a long line, though.
It's a very long line.
That's a real long line. But, I mean, if you're going to stand in line for, I'm going to have to think about that a little bit. Like, who means that much to me? You're right. There's not a lot. The list is not very long.
Now, if I was thinking about when I went to Redskins games as a kid, and I'm, 13, 14, whatever, or younger, I would stand in the line for guys you've never heard of. Kennard Lang.
Oh, totally.
Sean Barber, linebacker. And they're just guys that played like 2 years and were done. But to me at that time, that would have been amazing. Now, I wouldn't stand in line for like John Riggins, like the all-time greats.
I would be upset if like I stood in this line and then had to pay $20 for it.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about it. But that looked like the line to get in the game. That poor guy might not be able to catch a football after that.
His hands all crammed up.
Looking like the guy from Scary Movie.
I do get that movie
reference. Wow.
I got it.
Finally.
Got one. All right, Tony, you've been, are you still, you came in last week kind of sour. Like, I'm tired of talking about the Panthers.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the Panthers. I'm more of a, I'm a person. I'm not just a Panthers reporter.
Why don't you bring me on for me?
I have other likes and dislikes, Dad. I don't know. Are you still sour? Like, how you feeling?
Oh, no. We're getting a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Getting closer.
How do you feel about the layoff between, like, this is it. This is your last chance to see the Panthers for a while now.
2 weeks after? Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, because usually it would be a full. No,
you're just used to seeing it every week.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
it's a long time. I wish they would. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what I want them to do. Maybe give training camp another week and then have it so that those games back up a little bit closer to the season. That would be fun.
It used to be that every team would end on a Thursday night and then play the following Sunday.
Right.
But now teams get an extra week. So it's probably a good thing for us as a fan. We are like dying for football at this point, so it's frustrating.
And, they're the NFL, despite us being critical of them in so many ways, they are ridiculously good at juicing the most views possible. And they kind of let the college football landscape dominate for a moment. Like, give them their moment. Let's get week 1 of college football out of the way, and then we come in and take over.
You're right. I do have a complaint on that because, hey, I love complaining, right?
Actually, I don't find you to be
I'm not
giant complainer.
I'm really not. So, Tony, week 1, you've got a slew of Thursday. By the way, week 0 is tomorrow. Are you aware of that?
I am.
There are real games.
And you said Carolina's playing who?
Florida A&M, the Rattlers.
And then they're playing Appalachian State?
Week 1.
So does week 0 count?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just I don't know what the point of it is really, but it's a thing. It's football on TV. So there's a bunch of games on Thursday for week 1. Friday, ECU plays that Saturday along with some other marquee matchups. Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State. Is it Ohio State, Notre Dame?
Ooh, good one.
The matchup. And then, Tony, you've got, that's 7:30 ABC on that Saturday. And then Sunday, you've got one game, And you say we're going to let the NFL, the NFL is going to let college have their day. Well, let's play some Sunday games.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. I didn't even mean their day, literally their day. I can't mean their moment as in the weekend.
Yeah, I think we should have. So Florida State at LSU, 7:30. There should be like at least a triple header, but I think even more. Remember the Hail Mary game, ECU Tulsa? That was a Sunday. That was at noon, I want to say.
There is something weird about college football on a Sunday, though.
Definitely.
It does feel bizarre.
But for 1 week to kick it off, I mean, we don't have any other weeks with Monday night college football games.
Right.
Clemson at Georgia Tech. I understand that like a work day, although that is a holiday. But to have that as a standalone game, fine. But I've said I wish for years that they would kind of stack that Sunday with some games.
Yeah, in the same way as that we talk about this a lot with NFL football is the slate of 1 o'clock games, and I guess it's because everybody's got to play a home game, or I mean you're playing home games, and there's just a lot of teams on the East Coast, but you would like for them. What would be the problem with an East Coast team playing a 3:30 kickoff or a 4 o'clock
for
kickoff?
NFL?
Yeah, and just so you didn't have 12 1 o'clock games and 2 4 o'clock games.
How about this, Tony? I've heard people discuss this. I don't know how I feel about it, but the Jets and Browns kick off at 1:01. Patriots Bills kick off at 1:15. Washington and Philly.
What would be the benefit
play
of it?
At 1:35.
So you could catch the last play of every game?
Pretty much, I guess.
Well, we got Red Zone.
You do. It's okay. You're not on board. I don't know.
I feel like that's just too complicated at that point.
For who?
For me.
All right. I guess you're the person you care about in this scenario. So, yeah.
I've found this is because I'm covering, like when you watch... Wait, do you watch all the games on Saturday when you're covering a Pirate football game, or do you kind of stay zoned into Pirate football?
Well, I have to watch a game, so I'm more so keeping up with other games as they're happening.
You do? Like, so as the Pirates are playing, you're also watching other games?
More so checking scores than watching.
Because I have friends that are talking, they want the ticket, they go to this, and they want to see, they're fantasy football people, they want to see everything. I have a hard time watching a ton of games. Like, I just do better if I watch in this zone and then I check the scores or flip over occasionally during moments. It's hard for me to follow closely too many games at one time. And that 101, 102, 103 thing, I don't even know how it operates. I would just do this, is I would hope they would all be on different channels. You just press down, 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 and then you would do it again, down, down.
All right, how about this? Maybe that was too complicated. How about 3? So how many? So there's 32 teams. You have a Monday night game, a Sunday night game. So let's say you're down to 28. So that's 14 games. How many 1 o'clock games are there usually? And there's a Thursday night game.
It feels like there's like
so take
9.
away another one. So then you're down to 13 games. So the split is probably like 8-5 or 9-4.
Yeah, that's what
typically.
I feel like.
So let's say, how about you go like 3 games at 1 o'clock, 3 games at 2, 3 at 3.
Or what if you did 3 at noon, 3 at 3, and 3 at 5 or something like that?
I don't know. I guess
or even 2, because it would almost be better to have like a dinner game. So like we're all instead of waiting until 8,
instead of the end of Cardinals 49ers that you don't really care about.
Right.
There's a game like in the middle of it that's good.
Like where you actually have to devote your entire logistical day to it. Like you cannot take a break. You're like even like
I think the point of this is for me, like I want to see everything I possibly can, and when everything's happening at the same time, it's tough to do.
I heard an interesting question. Someone asked this: is there a show, like and not like a specific episode, but is there anything else that you would watch over an NFL football game where you would deliberately choose?
Well, let's play this out. What's the game? What's the matchup?
They said don't try to think of it as like crappy matchup or thing like that. It's just like the concept is NFL game versus the field. Is there anything that you would choose over it? And CJ's in there shaking his head.
No. Well, and this is more of a question, I think, Tony, for our ancestors. Because now we can watch anything at any time.
See, that is the thing. Because I was sitting here going, like, I mean, in theory, there is something I would probably, like, at some point, I have to admit that there could be something that supersedes it. But it's the fact that it's a game, a contest, and it's happening then.
And it's live.
Like, it's just that when you watch it later, you're missing the moment.
Yeah,
so watching it live is important, but a TV show necessarily for us, you know, it's
This is a real question for us in childhood, though, Tony. Like, or for our parents.
The kids don't understand it, bro.
Yeah.
That's why they call them ads and not commercials.
Do you have the, you going to watch the TV movie of the week on CBS? It's going to be a good one tonight. Or do you catch the Oilers and the Rams?
I know. Do you watch what was the Sunday, the Friday family movie or something? So
I remember Sundays they would have some stuff like that, too.
Yeah. You know, and then how about how poorly, we didn't get to watch anything when we were kids. You watch like one, man, I don't even know if they put football on the TV barely. You know what I mean? It was like one game at one moment. I don't even remember. And I only have 4 channels anyway. We didn't have cable for a long time.
That's where my hatred of the Panthers began, when they took Washington off TV.
Away.
Yeah.
No wonder you won't join us.
It was brutal, man.
Now you should be thanking us.
Yeah, right. Don't have to watch that crap. I'm fired up for Red Zone, though. I love it. I watch Washington when they're on, but man, Red Zone is such a great invention. It is a fantastic thing.
Look, I'm looking at my little nephew on Twitter right now at Familia.
If you go to Familia, the first 10 customers that go in for a pizza tonight will receive a free ECU Beat State t-shirt.
Also, just a shout out to people listening when it comes to pizza, guys. Underrated place, Familia, for pizza.
I got this.
Maybe not underrated. I heard you talking about this.
I think it's highly rated, but I had the Supreme for the first time last week, and they have like premium toppings.
Yeah,
like it's not just like
garbage.
It's awesome stuff.
But the thing that's great about it, I won't say underrated. That's the wrong word. But you think of it as a restaurant, so you're thinking about the entrees.
Right.
But the pizza, like, go through the drive-through window and get a pizza pie. And it's not like, I mean, it's New York kind of style pizza. Not as stretched out, maybe, but it is gorgeous. Good. Always delicious.
And I think I got my plan for the evening. All right. Hey, how about that segment, Tony? We didn't talk any Panthers at all. It was a good segment.
I told you I didn't want to talk about the Panthers.
And we didn't. We might be forced to next segment. So we'll take a break, come back. Oh, what you got, CJ?
We've got some breaking news regarding another team of cats, if you'd like it.
Jaguars?
Jaguars.
Oh, I just guessed it.
Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars have claimed Jake Verity off of waivers.
Is that the team we said earlier this week he could go to?
Yes, we mentioned that, yes. Because they didn't have a kicker at the time.
Yeah! Tune into Pirate Radio, you'll learn a thing or two.
Breaking.
It didn't happen exactly the way we thought, but it ended up happening.
The analysis is still there.
Jake Verity, a Jag, and now he is competing against that dude they picked up the other day that we called a bum, that we don't know who he is.
That's fine.
He's going to win that battle. Jake is going to win that battle.
Yes, he is.
And be the kicker week 1 for the Jaguars.
Breaking news. And Matt Dodge to the Buffalo Bills.
No. Tom Coughlin actually murdered him. And,
oh, he's not alive
buried him under Giant Stadium.
He's still in the jail at the Philly Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More to go after this.
Here today with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. Jeff, how's the service department?
Service is going great. Like I told you before, 2022 is the year of the customer. We've been voted #1 dealership in Greenville for 3 years in a row, and there's a reason why. For service, we still offer free pickup and drop-off, so we're trying to make it super convenient for the customer. And right now, our customers are repairing their vehicles more than ever.
How can people make a service appointment?
They can go to brownandwood.net or dial 355-6080.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Love is finding the internet of your dreams from MetroNet. Get ready for fast, reliable, 100% fiber speeds with unlimited data so you can stream, study, surf, and game on all your devices simultaneously. No lag times or buffering. MetroNet offers student deals. Get 100 megabit internet for just $39.95 a month. Switch today at metronet.com/switch. MetroNet. Love your internet.
So, how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So, Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
So, how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So, Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Welcome to US Cellular, where new and current customers choose any phone they want for free.
Free? Even the one with 5G and lots of storage?
Free.
And the one with the latest everything?
Free.
At US Cellular, any phone you see is free, whether you're a new or current customer. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Tired and sluggish? Down in the dumps? Or do you just have the blahs? Well, maybe you need to hydrate. Revive Health and Wellness offers IV hydration, which can help you with lack of energy, improve your mood, assist with immunity, and even fix a hangover. Call today to set up an appointment at 350-1805. Locally owned and operated by Samantha Casper, Revive Health and Wellness has a new location and is ready to serve you. Stop by at 2459 Emerald Place in Greenville or go online at revivehealthwellness.org.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty. I've been in Greenville over 25 years. I'm a proud graduate of ECU. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, then give me a call today and let me help make your real estate process fun and easy. I keep it simple and explain the process every step of the way. My goals are your goals. There are no long-term contracts, and you always deal with me from start to finish. The right home starts with the right agent. Call me, Scott Harris, at 347-1857. Go Pirates.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is Zach Agnos, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The Sidebar in Uptown Greenville is open and ready to serve you. The Tex-Mex Fusion Restaurant offers dinner and Sunday brunch from 10:30 to 2:30. Located right next door to the Dickinson Avenue Public House, the Sidebar has indoor dining and patio seating for everyone to enjoy. For the latest on reservations, menu items, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Free Beer Friday, Football Friday. It's all happening here on Pirate Radio Live. Coming up later on tonight, High School Huddle at 6 o'clock. And then D.H. Conley looking to get to 2-0 in the regular season to start their campaign, taking on Cary tonight. We'll have it right here on Pirate Radio. Also tonight, Panthers and Bills. Tony, you guys at C3 doing anything for this game?
We are doing the Friday free-for-all, which we have each Friday night at 7 o'clock, but we're starting off at 6:30 to get a little pregame action in and then doing a watch-along.
How did last week's go?
Big turnout and cruddy game.
Yeah.
You know, is that the Panthers didn't play any of their starters, really, or not many of them. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things with the preseason. It's like, I don't know what I want out of it. Like, I want them to play the starters because I want to see them. But I also was thinking about this on the way over here as the Panthers are, like, saying, like, putting up play, like, all these players. Like, I actually don't want them to play because we know they're starting.
Yeah.
And there's going to be 2 weeks off anyway, so it's not like they're really knocking that much rust off. In my view, is I almost would never play my starters who I knew were starting the entire preseason.
We were talking about this the other night at Trivia at AJ's. We talk about Tyler Snead here because he's a Pirate and it's fun to see. But CJ, there's probably like every team has their training camp darlings, and Tony, you've had yours over the years, and Washington's had some. But I bet there's a group of Steelers fans right now that, like, Tyler Snead's their favorite training camp guy. You know what I'm saying? He's this little dude. He's tough. And that's how we do it in Pittsburgh, all grit and heart. I bet for a lot of Steelers fans, Snead is that guy right now.
I hope he is, because and I think that the touchdown that he caught last weekend would have really set a lot of fans in motion to be happy for him. And you saw the reaction. I think it goes to teammates too.
Yeah.
You saw the reaction when he caught the touchdown. I mean, everybody came off the sideline to go huddle him, pick him up, hug him, all that stuff.
Because he's adorable.
Hey, adorable, good at football, whatever you want to call it. It works.
What is that? You know, they're probably the Pittsburgh Steelers fans are saying that's real Hunter Renfrow-esque.
Just comparing them to
they're small.
They're white people.
That's fine. I'll take Hunter Renfrow out of him.
Did you see
he literally did on the Igo song.
That's true.
And I forget the name of the podcast. It's got Fred Taylor on it. I should know. I watch it a lot. But they had safety.
I saw a clip.
Derwin James, and he goes, when you're looking at elite receivers out there, and he says like Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and they were like, Hunter Renfrow?
Yeah.
He goes, you mean the encyclopedia salesman? He said, he ain't selling no encyclopedias.
You watch film, don't you?
Yeah. He said, put on the tape.
You watch the tape, don't you? Yeah, I did see that this week. But now the reality of this is every team has these guys. Scratching, clawing. Part of preseason, it's kind of bad to say, but like it's just putting guys out there so your main guys don't get hurt. Like you're just fielding guys to play a game that really you don't have any interest in keeping.
I've seen dudes slay the preseason and then still get zero playing time. But there are guys that you didn't think were going to make the team, that weren't even really bubble guys, that just weren't make the team guys, who in the preseason become bubble guys. And then there's one or two that will find a spot. So really, for someone like Tyler Snead, it's going to be, can he contribute on special teams? And, you know, his speed will be helpful in that. He's going to have to try to I don't know, have they tried him at punt returns or kickoff returns at all?
Yes, some of the videos I've seen him back there receiving punts, receiving kickoffs.
He was good at that here.
And that's important, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not going to get playing time as a receiver much until the opportunity comes about. So you can't give a guy a spot on a roster to do one thing, and that one thing is ultimately sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
So the special teams is going to be killer. So if he wasn't able to do something like that, that's why some of the offensive linemen, Deontay Jones is the guy I think who's for us.
Dante Smith.
Dante Smith, yeah. And that's like, is that they probably want to get him in there in the rotation, but at the end of the day, like, he's just going to be on the bench until he's not, and he has no other value. So yeah, and we'll be watching. We're rooting for Tyler Snead. He's like reminds me of a little baby bird.
Yeah, I think something that
Demir Bird.
Yeah, I love Demir.
I got the reference.
I think something that kind of has Tyler Snead fighting up a hill as well is Pittsburgh. Obviously, if you need to pick a position group that they're known for producing well, it's wide receivers.
Well, the Steelers fan favorite right now is probably George Pickens, to be honest,
Yes.
who is also at Tyler Snead's position.
Yeah.
Was he a higher pick though?
Second round out of
Georgia.
Georgia.
Well, he's better make the dang team.
He's definitely. But you got him. You've got Claypool. You've got
Deontay Johnson.
Johnson's their number one.
Calvin Austin as well.
Yeah. I could see the Steeler fans in Pittsburgh, like the guys who work at the steel mill, like latching on to Tyler.
Oh,
Snead,
definitely.
like scrappy.
He's all heart, man. He's grit, guts. Tony, I like Ron Rivera.
Good.
But I'm really getting tired of this crap.
What now?
I just saw this week we released Alex Arma.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Hey, why is he even employed? Like, was he a fullback?
Yeah. He's pretty good.
I just hate this former Panther crap. Just like you hated Matt Rule hiring everybody in his college black book.
Well, you know, I feel like since we've been on this conversation for so long that we realize that while we get upset about it, it's actually just part of the reality of football. Like, it's not just us. It's like everywhere you go. And the thing is sometimes the ties just aren't so clear, but they're there. You know,
you hire your kids to coach under you. You hire players, you hire your friends to run the defense.
Think about Ruffin McNeil going to Oklahoma, and then basically half of not half, but some of his staff members were there. You know, because they all know, like you can't hire people. You know what you know.
I know,
right? So,
but it's annoying.
There's a lot. It is. It's like when it gets to, it's just so apparent. That's why they call them the Commanthers.
Well, I guess I would have gotten a coach from another team that had really good players he could bring in.
Yeah.
That would make me happy.
Like, could you be, I don't know, who would that be?
I was trying to think of a good example
what
of that.
The team would be
that I
that's
can't
been
right
consistently good, because the Patriots are down. It would just be like, can we get Andy Reid?
Yeah, bring in Andy Reid.
But even a good segue with that is that the continued nepotism that we're talking about is Denzel Mims has requested a trade from the Jets. And guess who picked up the phone and called?
Who's that?
The Carolina Panthers.
Why is that?
Because, well, I mean, why? I don't know. I mean, I guess they're interested. B, Matt Rule coached him at Baylor.
There we go. Hey, you remember me? I'm Matt Rule. Come on down. The price is right. All right. So, is there, while we're talking about training camp darlings, Tony, as you're watching last week for a lot of guys on the field that aren't going to wear Panthers jerseys this fall, has there been any guys that you've latched onto that you like? Is there a podcast favorite amongst
yeah, I was
your
going to say, Clip has worn me down enough to where I don't care about anybody other than Demir Bird and Cameron Artis-Payne, and they're no longer with it.
Cap, where's Cap?
I know.
Is he in the USFL, XFL?
Man, what a screw job. I tell you one thing is, the reason Cameron Artis-Payne did not make it on the Panthers is I think he must have slept with Ron Rivera's daughter or something, because he would definitely be a Commander right now if he hadn't.
Well, I don't know if he did something. I've never seen this before. So he's on the Montreal Alouettes in the CFL, but it says roster status suspended. Maybe he slept with that coach's daughter. He just can't stop.
The one I think for everybody is everybody talks about Shi Smith. Shi Smith, he's a former South Carolina Gamecock, smaller receiver. He's not tiny, but he's not a big guy. But he's like a super fast receiver. And you know what? He's really good. He's pretty darn good. But the problem is you're fighting on a roster that's got those spots already taken. And then we got the Higgins guy who's from Cleveland that has connection, like has a, kind of the chemistry with Baker Mayfield. So it's going to be tough for them. For us, I think some other things is just, there's some injuries in the secondary, so you're looking for hopefully a guy to stand out. But there hasn't been for us, it's maybe more about rookies who have been more impressive that we think might climb the depth chart faster than normal. Brandon Smith being one of those, a linebacker that was drafted out of Penn State. And Cade Mays is an offensive guard that can play center and do a lot, and a lot of people like him. But this year it has not been, and I actually made this observation on the podcast maybe even 2 months ago before we even started, is the roster feels like the most final it's felt.
Right.
It's like we know, I mean, outside the biggest concern and question was that the one position you didn't want the question at, and that's the quarterback. But other than that, it's like we know who the DBs are. We know who the offensive line is ultimately. Now, you feel like you know the starting lineup pretty much.
Has Baker shown the Baker swag since he's been in Carolina? Has he done anything? Camps, talking? I don't know. I hadn't been following, I guess, but I hadn't heard much from him. Maybe he's saving it for week one. I don't know.
I don't know how much. I'd have to really kind of study on how much that's a reality of like what is the Baker swag? Is it being a jerk? Is it being
confident?
Like, yeah, I feel like he's been a mature. He's done all the right things. He's said all the right things. He has not shied away from things, but. No, he's just got charisma. Yeah. That's the thing is no, but he hasn't like shown out yet or something. And I think
he's a fun guy to root for and probably easy as well. When things are going good, everybody's easy to root for, but you want him to succeed,
Yeah, he's he's smart, and so he was talking about talking junk with some of the defensive players, and he's like, I talked junk with Shaq. He said you got to go after the top dogs if you're going to talk junk. And I thought that was funny because it was like, man, imagine Shaq talking junk. He's like such a quiet dude. And then he was like, and Dante Jackson, he talks junk, but you know what? He don't ever shut up either. So he's funny and he's like endearing to a certain degree. So
like Carson Wentz, not that fun to root for. Baker Mayfield, fun to root for.
Carson Wentz, boring.
I'm having the issue with that. I'm going to come around. If he throws a touchdown week 1 early, I'm going to get on board. But right now, I'm struggling.
What do you think about Ron Rivera stepping outside his comfort zone and giving Sam Howell reps with the ones at one point? Is that meaningful at all?
Sure. Yeah. That's fine with me. I mean,
but like, does that mean that are there any doubts? We talked about we talked about that press conference.
Maybe he's ready to get rid of Heineke as the two. Finally. No. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay,
but
that's actually a good way of thinking about it.
No, that's fine. I mean, Wentz is certainly your starter there, and so that came after Howell's performance against the Panthers, right? So
that's pretty good.
Maybe they are putting more on his plate. I don't know.
Good.
Hey, that's promising.
I mean, that's what you drafted him for, is to move up the depth chart into the number 2 spot.
That would be something if he supplants him, like, and Heineke's released, or
and then Wentz goes down, and then he comes in. And
God. Okay, I don't know if I'm ready.
Well, I mean, that is actually a real possibility with
Carson Wentz has gotten hurt before and had to leave.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He can play without ankles. The best injury report ever was Carson Wentz.
What was it?
Ankles.
Like parentheses ankles.
Yeah, it's
not just one.
Is it? Yeah.
Multiple.
It was the same game. He hurt the left foot, and then he hurt the right one.
It's like Allen Iverson.
You're the one that made the joke,
dude. That's a long time ago.
I love it.
Got crossed up by Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
And lost both his ankles.
I have no legs. I have no legs.
Oh yeah. What's that? Kids?
I think so. Yeah.
Kids reference.
Yeah. Well done,
Tony. All right. So once again, tonight 6:30. YouTube, easiest way to find it.
Yeah.
C3 podcast going to be live watching Panthers and Bills and talking to you.
Yeah, we actually have some cool things going on right now. We have a membership program, like you can join the C3, become a C3 super fan. It's really a loyalty thing. It's like but a small way. Instead of asking people to donate like $50 or something and asking somebody to make a big sacrifice, $1.99 a month, man, really helps grow the Panthers podcast. We've crested 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, and man, like our numbers are killing it right now, man. We have over 250 people watching live all the time, and it's just fun. So we just want people to be part of the community.
CJ, next Friday, Tony, next Friday, division winners, playoff Super Bowl predictions,
and then the following week,
week 1 picks, which Tony says he will beat me this year.
Bold prediction.
Never, my friend. Although
I'll be up by like 20 games at one point in the season. And
I kind of take September off, and then October.
He just comes along. He's a Ron Rivera team.
You and Russell Wilson are the exact opposite. That's about the only month he's going.
That's right. That's true. So get your predictions ready for next Friday. We'll have our prediction show for NFL, all our picks, and then 2 weeks from today, we're picking week 1 games. In fact, next week, I guess we'll be picking
the Pirates game,
Cowboys, Bucks too, because that'll be on a Thursday night. We'll have a game to pick.
Love it.
All right, good stuff. Thanks for hanging out, Tony.
Yeah, thank you.
Tony Dunn, CarolinaCatChronicles.com, C3. Check them out tonight. We'll take a timeout, come back. When we return, Billy Weaver joins us on the Pit Electric Live Line. We're back with you after this.
When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, You can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
This is Braxton Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. If you're looking to purchase a home, it is still a great time, and being pre-qualified before you begin shopping is an advantage. At Angel Oak, we offer a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans that can fit most financial situations. To get started, contact our experienced team of Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, Wanda Hager, or myself, Braxton Green, at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
Buying a home? Then you've got a lot on your mind. Now rising rates? It's a lot. This is Timothy Sawyer, your local Rocket Mortgage professional right here in Greenville, North Carolina. With Rocket, you have an advantage. You can lock your rate for 90 days while you search for a home. If rates rise, yours is safe. But if they fall within the first 3 years of buying, you can refinance to a lower rate with exclusive savings. Take the Rocket advantage of calling me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
Hello folks, this is Jamie Lane with Carolina Hardscapes and Mulch. We believe that making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio, fireplace, pool, walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call at 364-1201. You can stop by our outdoor showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic's Oak Furniture. At Carolina Hardscapes, we look forward to making your backyard the place to be. Find us on the web at carolinahardscapesandmulch.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better brace yourself because this right here is a Papa John's Papa Bowl. No crust, just piping hot toppings and melty cheese in an oven-baked bowl. Better ingredients, better pizza, now in a bowl, Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, brace yourself for the brand new Papa Bowls for only $7.99. The new Papa Bowls are an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of Pip Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 five-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. Pip, where business goes to grow.
Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. If you're looking for wings to be delivered to your home, Wings Over Greenville has you covered with no third party needed. Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Be sure to try the all-new tender sandwiches by ordering ahead on the Wings Over mobile app. Open till 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Wings Over has everything to cure those late night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville. They deliver.
Pirate Radio.
It's great to be on. This is an honor. You know, Pirate Radio is kind of a cult following around North Carolina, so I'm excited.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. Join the over 58,000 followers today. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you. Football Friday, Free Beer Friday edition of PRL. And we'll talk some football with Morgan Ahlers and Brian North in hour 3 of today's show, and give you an 18-pack of Bud Light bottles. All that on the way, our final hour. Let's wrap up hour 2 with Billy Weaver, who joins us on the Pitt Electric Live Line. Pitt Electric is your trusted electrical partner since 1981 and Eastern North Carolina's premier electrical contractor for the past 40-plus years. Pitt Electric is hiring. Join the team today by going to pittelectric.com. Weave, how you doing, man?
Doing great, Clip. Hope you are too.
Yes, sir. I'm hanging out in Greenville, North Carolina. Tell everybody what you've been up to.
I am actually in a hotel room right now in Chicago, about to head back to Greenville for the weekend. I'm in training in my new role as a pharmaceutical rep. We talked about that earlier on your show. The medications, just to be quick and easy about it, I sell poop medication.
There you go.
So it's been a lot of fun, but of course, being up here in Chicago, one of the things on my bucket list, sports bucket list, of course, is to be able to see a game at Wrigley Field. I've been to Chicago before, but when I've been to Chicago other times, the Cubs were not in town. They were in town this week and playing the St. Louis Cardinals. Awesome series. So on Tuesday night, I got to go to Wrigley Field, watch a game between the Cardinals and Cubs, and it was absolutely amazing, man. It's just, like I said, got to cross something off the old bucket list.
Cubs are pretty bad this year, Weave, but they were known as the lovable losers forever until they broke through, won the World Series, and known for having great crowds there, especially like day games in the summer, and no matter what the record, fans are there. So is that still the same, Weave? Is it still like a pretty good crowd, even though they're 17 games under 500?
Well, the crowd was amazing, and I don't know if that's typical. Obviously, I'm not here on a daily basis to see. There are 162 games a year, of course, 81 games a year home at Chicago. I know they still draw very well. Of course, with the Cardinals in town, that's a big rival for them. There were a lot of Cardinals fans as well, because here in the state of Illinois, it's not that far from St. Louis. So there are Cardinals fans around here. So there was a good contingency of Cardinals fans, but that place was near capacity. I've got video, as a matter of fact, on my Facebook page, and I think I need to put it on Twitter. I'll put it on Twitter and tag you guys in it, but I took some video of the crowd. It was awesome. The atmosphere was electric. I tell you what, I couldn't have asked for a better atmosphere. I guess aside, of course, from, playoff game, World Series, but for a regular season game, couldn't have asked for a better atmosphere. Unfortunately for Cubs fans, they got beat 13-3. Buddy of mine that's going through training up here, he's from St. Louis. He has the St. Louis area. So, of course, he went with me. He's a big St. Louis Cardinals fan. He was loving it. The only thing that disappointed me is that I didn't get to see, Albert Pujols won at bat late in the game. But it would have been nice because the night before, the Monday night, Pujols actually hit a home run in that series. And, of course, everybody's wondering if he can get to 700. There was some really cool video that I saw online of at Wrigley Field, Pujols gave his jersey to a young fan in the stands. That video's kind of gone viral, but overall, an amazing atmosphere. And I had a Chicago dog. So I had a Chicago dog, a nice Budweiser beer in honor of Harry Carey.
Yeah.
I'm not a Budweiser fan per se, as far as I like Bud Light, but I had to have a Budweiser. It's just like it's tradition. And of course, there's the big Budweiser sign in the outfield, and some peanuts, man. And I tell you what, it was one of my all-time favorite baseball experiences, definitely.
Billy Weaver crosses off Wrigley Field on the sports venue bucket list. So what's next, Weave? What's that list? What's still on that list for you?
Well, as far as baseball, obviously Fenway Park. I haven't been there yet. And Chavez Ravine, Dodger Stadium, for some reason. I don't know. I just kind of want to go there. I've been to Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium. I've been to new Yankee Stadium. I've been to both of the Mets ballparks, the Braves. I was at the interesting tidbit of information. I was at the very last game ever played at at Fulton County Stadium. That was in the 1996 World Series Game 5 when Leyritz hit the home run. And then in Game 6, we went to the World Series to see the Yankees close it out in New York. But then the very next season, I was at the very first game ever at Turner Field. So been to both of those stadiums, been to a couple other stadiums. But I think the biggest one on the baseball bucket list now, of course, is Fenway.
Billy Weaver joining us on the Pit Electric Live Line. We'll be talking to you folks next Saturday on the Pit Electric Live Line following East Carolina and NC State. We'll have a full day of coverage beginning at 8 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, and, of course, with you after the game on the fifth quarter. And, boy, how's that sound, hearing that, Weave, that tomorrow's the last Saturday without Pirate football?
I know, that's going to be awesome. Another kind of tying this in with my work-related stuff, my partner, in the pharmaceutical business and territories, you have a partner. My partner happens to be an NC State guy.
Perfect.
So, yeah, we talked earlier today, and we've already started kind of the jawing back and forth, but it's not obnoxious. It's not, it's very fun. So that's going to be fun to have somebody that I can actually because it's not always fun to have people to root with. Sometimes it's fun to have, that's kind of like why we like Brian Bailey, because he's, him and Meador too. They're Cowboys fans, so you can kind of like them, but then not like them for like 3 hours a week. So yeah, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be that way for a lot of people in Eastern North Carolina, because there is that crossover. I mean, there's ECU fans in Raleigh, and there are Wolfpack fans in Greenville. So the atmosphere, that's the thing. We're talking about the atmosphere at Wrigley Field. The atmosphere at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium is going to be pretty special as well.
Talking to Billy Weaver on the Pit Electric Live Line. We're fired up, ready to go. Going to be a packed house, Weave, and the rivalry, you and your partner there, and it's a house divided game. It's a fun game, right? That a lot of folks think should be played every single year. I was talking about this earlier this week, Weave. This is the first time this matchup is going to feature two potential bowl teams, two teams that went to bowl games last year. Both teams didn't get to play because the opponent dropped out, but this is the first time since 2010. 2008, where you're going to have two good teams from ECU and NC State match up against one another.
Yeah, that's always good. But then again, when it comes to these rival games, I can remember, let's see, I guess it was probably early 2000s. ECU played host to North Carolina. Both teams were 0-5, and it was a rainy day, and that place was still electric. So, I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it because, whatever, it is what it is. You can throw the records and the rankings and all that stuff out the window when these teams play, and that's why, going back to your point, this game should be played every year. These are games that people want to see. I mean, put them on the schedule, obviously. There are logistical problems, obviously, and there's only so many out-of-conference games that you can schedule. I understand that, but you got to do everything you can to make these games happen, because there's potential sellouts for every time, no matter what the records are going to be. And, of course, with a season opener, that's the best, because everybody's got high anticipation for their team. They've got their excitement level is at the highest it's going to be all year, unless they continue to go undefeated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt. Billy Weaver joining us. We got had media day last Saturday, mock game week practice this week. The coaches, the players getting set. In fact, I think they've been set. The whole mindset of this team, this veteran team, has been go from day one. And we asked some guys, if you had to play this Saturday, could you go out there and play? And some said yes. And some, I think a mature response was, you know what, let's use that extra week we got to make sure we have our final prep ready for NC State. So they're looking across the field. They're going to be looking at a good Wolfpack team, but also a confident East Carolina bunch here, ready to take the field next Saturday.
Yeah, and when you get to this point in fall camp, your younger guys, and even to some extent, most of the players are going to be like, yeah, let's hit the field. Let's do this. I'm ready to hit somebody else. Coaches will tell you, and I don't care if it's a day before the game, if you ask a coach, would you like more preparation time? Absolutely. I mean, they're never ready. Never. The players always seem to be ready, but it's those teams that have that balance in the middle that are like, okay, the players are ready to play. They're confident. They feel good about the game plan. And the coaches are like, okay, I feel good about our players as well. And I think that's where East Carolina is right now. They're ready to hit somebody else. NC State's going to be a great team right off the bat. That, I like that, because then you're, not to say that players can have a tendency to not take opponents seriously, but I mean, that's human nature. When you know from day one, hey, you've got a big in-state rival, they're going to come in here nationally ranked, they're going to come in here and want to make a statement, then these guys are on their game from day one. So these guys have been preparing very hard in the off season. Like I said, they're ready to hit somebody else. And man, I tell you what, can you imagine the locker rooms of both sides, 10, 15 minutes before game time at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium? Man, I bet you could cut the tension in there with a knife. That's what's so awesome about sports, and that's what's going to be awesome about this game, and especially two rival teams. I just hope that the game lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
And even as even as an East Carolina fan, a guy that went to East Carolina, in all reality, as a sports fan, I'd rather see a tight game come down to the wire at the end than either team blowing the other team out. I mean, I really would. I want to see a good game. Of course, I want to see East Carolina come out on top without a doubt in that game. But I do want to see a good game. I think it makes for great memories.
There's like 80 other college football games on Saturday, Weave. How about they all be close games and ECU wins in a blowout?
No, everybody wants another one of those North Carolina 70-point hangers.
Yeah.
Those are fun, too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. But I think as the older I get, the more I want to be entertained. I really do.
Entertain me. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
How about earlier today, Ruffin McNeil, wearing red, NC State backdrop, has a Zoom press conference and is asked about returning to Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium, this time as an opponent. Still a weird sight to see him in that red, but Mike Houston was asked about Ruffin McNeil earlier this week, and called him a mentor, called him a friend, and he's got a lot of friends over on the ECU side still with Donnie Kirkpatrick and others. So that's there's another little wrinkle, little storyline to this game.
Yeah, something you and I haven't personally talked about with the Ruffin McNeil situation, but I tell you what, I have never, and I can say this with confidence, I've never run into anyone that's had anything bad to say about Ruffin McNeil. Now, you can say what you want about maybe his last year and record-wise and, maybe his coaching style or whatever, but personally, no one I have ever come across has said a negative thing about Ruffin McNeil. It's going to be a love fest. He loves East Carolina. He's an East Carolina alum. He loves this university, but for 3 hours on next Saturday, he's going to want to do everything he can in his power to bury East Carolina. And that's the way it should be, but it's going to be so much fun, man. And just to add to the rivalry and the atmosphere, and, it just kind of goes back to, everybody that's what the good thing about rivalries is. Everybody knows everybody. They have a connection somehow, be it coaches that have coached together, that have played for the other teams, players that have played against and with each other on high school teams. There's going to be a lot of that going on. So that's the good thing about rivalries, and that's the wonderful thing about college football.
Billy Weaver joining us on the Pit Electric Live line. We've got one more week of preseason, and then with the new way they're doing it, you've got 3 preseason games, 4 if you're in the Hall of Fame game, and then you get a week off. So we're not going to see any NFL for a little while. We'll be immersed in college football, but wrapping up the preseason here. I said this earlier this week, there's not anything in the world I look forward to more and then lose interest in quicker than preseason football. I'm following what's happening in Washington from afar, but that's about it. And watching Tyler Snead catch touchdowns. That's all I'm into right now.
Yeah, it's so funny because we get into, and I still put myself in that classification as the media and all that stuff. Guys, like you mentioned Tyler Snead, ever since I've been in the business of covering and watching NFL games, preseason to me is watching guys that guys from your school or guys from, high draft picks. You want to see how they're doing and stuff like that because, basically the games don't mean anything. You can go through records and say, hey, I mean, I don't even know where I stand if you were to ask me, okay, the Washington Commanders, would you want them to go 3-0 in the preseason or 0-3 in the preseason? There's, different ways of looking at it. Does the record mean anything? Nah, it's all about the players and stuff. So I'm like you. I like to watch some of the guys, and I start to root for guys, particular players more than I do the teams themselves.
We've good stuff, man. Have safe travels back here. Can't wait to see you in the Pirate Radio studios coming up next Saturday for the U.S. Sailor 5th quarter call-in show as we'll recap East Carolina and NC State. So enjoy your final Saturday without Pirate football for a while.
I don't enjoy the last Saturday. I don't know. I think that's the last Saturday I won't be enjoying myself. Once we hit ECU football, those are the enjoyable Saturdays. So I'm pumped and ready for it, man, and I can't wait to talk to the fans. That's going to be fun. Last year was an experience. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what this year brings.
Billy Weaver will be here coming up next Saturday on the U.S. Sailor 5th quarter call-in show, taking your calls that Saturday afternoon following East Carolina, NC State. Looking forward to it. Let's take a break. We'll come back. When we return, Hour 3 of PRL, Morgan Ahlers set to join us, and we're giving away 18 12-ounce Bud Light bottles. Bud Light sponsoring the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Should we do a mock Saturday tomorrow and all wake up at 7 a.m.? Nope, I agree, Shirley. That would be a no. We'll do the real thing next week. Take a timeout, come back. More to go after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holton Ahlers for my friends at ArcPoint Labs. Just as I trust my teammates, you can trust ArcPoint Labs to give you quick and accurate results for your laboratory testing needs. ArcPoint Labs provides insights and solutions to enable individuals, businesses, and communities to make informed decisions on their health, safety, and well-being. Visit any of the 6 Eastern North Carolina ArcPoint Labs locations or go to arcpointlabs.com. Go Pirates!
Have you experienced increased aches and pains recently? Have you heard of CBD? Hemp Garden is your premier CBD retailer in Eastern North Carolina. Do you find yourself having anxiety or in need of extra sleep support? Hemp Garden has a variety of Delta 8 and Delta 9 products that can assist with those issues. If you're unable to stop by the store, don't worry. Give them a call today at 413-6100 for a consultation, and they'll ship right to your door. Hemp Garden, 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville.
Pabst is the place where things are exactly as you remember them, right down to the flicker of an old neon sign. Why is it flickering? I don't know. I'm a voice, not a neon mechanic.
Pabst is the place.
Hey Pirate fans, get stocked up for tailgating season with PBR at your favorite retailer. Look for the QR code on the PBR display and register for a chance to win a PBR cooler full of beer. Game day or any day, all Pirates prefer PBR.
It's bow time. Why are Bojangles Chicken Supremes called Supremes? Well, with golden crispy chicken tenderloins this juicy, tender, and full of bold flavor, what else would you call them? Superbs? Nah, that would be weird. Get your Chicken Supremes combo today with a scratch-made biscuit, your choice of fixin', legendary iced tea, and have you heard there's a new sauce in town? Try our new creamy buffalo sauce when you get a Chicken Supremes combo today. It's bow time.
Take a hit from a 300-pound linebacker, and you better be wearing pads. Take a hit on the road, and you better have good auto coverage. When you've got North Carolina Farm Bureau Auto Insurance, you've got the best local agents ready to help you bounce back. If you don't, well, you'll probably play football without a helmet, too. In Pitt County, call Brandon Manning or Randy Daniels at 252-756-3007. North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina Incorporated. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. An independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Hey Pirates, this is Holton Ahlers. A big part of my success on the field is what I eat at home. To keep my body filled up, I order meals off a Clean Eats meal plan. I choose the meals I want from 6 different meals offered each week, and I pick them up on Sunday or Monday at the cafe on Red Banks Road. Each meal is packed with the perfect mix of healthy proteins, carbs, and veggies to keep my engine running at full speed. Go to CleanEats.com, click on meal plans, or stop by the cafe and get all the info. Clean Eats and the Pirates, a winning combination.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Kyle Gaines at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We are growing, so is our service department. We're adding more space to provide a faster, more affordable service for you. Come sit down with our team and let us customize your next Jeep or truck. Have the freedom to pick out your own lift, wheels, and tires and more. Drive a little, save a lot when it comes to customizing your next vehicle. We're at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located off 264 West in Washington, North Carolina, and online at WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville is the perfect place to get all your amigos together for some Mexican food, fun, and football. Chico's has been a game day tradition for Pirate football fans for over 30 years. Whether the game is home or away, make it a Chico's Day for some great specials and the best chips and salsa in town. Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch your favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town, along with sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Tiebreakers in Greenville at Bells Fork and in downtown Winterville on Railroad Street. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Cliff.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. We'll head back out to the Pitt Electric Live line and talk to the host of the High School Huddle coming up tonight, 6 o'clock right here on Pirate Radio on your airwaves. And he is Morgan Ahlers, voice of Dowdy Ficklen Stadium. Morgan, how you doing, sir?
Clip, doing great. Friday, beautiful day, a little hot outside. Time for some high school football and 1 week away from East Carolina football.
Morgan, how are you spending your last Saturday? So you got 4 straight at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium for the first time ever. So you'll be using that voice quite a bit. So how are you spending your final Saturday without Pirate football?
Final Saturday will be down in Carolina Beach.
Not a bad way to spend it.
Got a thing to do down there, so we're heading down there here shortly. And
all right,
private event, going to be working down there, so excited about that.
Awesome stuff. And
weekend, and away we go.
And coming up tonight, you'll be talking some high school football right here on Pirate Radio High School Huddle, week 2 of the season. And Morgan D.H. Conley trying to get off to a 2-0 start. And I've been talking to folks that follow it, and we'll hear from Brian North, talk about it in a moment, but Brian Bailey and others. And a pretty impressive win to go on the road, get that win for Conley last week, as Laney had their quarterback returning that beat Conley the year before. Conley breaking in a new QB, Morgan, and they're able to pick up the win. That was a good road win for Nate Connor's crew.
It really was, and they had a couple chances. They could have maybe had a few more points on the board in that game. And Coach Connor and his staff, they work so hard during the summer, as do all these high school teams. But they've got a lot of players and a lot of exciting players, and several D1 prospects on that team with Bryce Weaver and Isaiah Crumpler, the junior, former, I guess what's the word I'm looking for when your father and your brothers have played
legacy?
That's what I'm looking for. He's a legacy. And, of course, he's such a dynamic player himself. And, they got to play a game tonight against Cary. Cary lost last week, I believe, to Cleveland High School, who the Rampants play tonight on the road, taking on Cleveland High School, which is always a dynamic team. They are again this year. I think they beat Cary last week 55-12, something like that. And a lot of great games going on. You got North Pitt. They're going to be playing Manio. Washington's at home against Northampton County. Aiden Griffin, they're going to be taking on Aiden Griffin's got East Carteret. And then South Central, they're going to be at home taking on West Craven. So it's going to be a big night of high school football.
Yeah, the West Craven South Central, you got 2 0-1 teams that, if things go a little different last week, are 1-0 heading into this week. So both of those teams hungry to pick up their first win. I know South Central didn't win, but raised a few eyebrows playing Kinston as close as they did last week, Morgan. And then you mentioned North Pitt, C.J. Wilson and his Panthers trying to get in the win column tonight. So you've got Farmville Central, Aiden Grifton in that same boat, trying not to go 0-2. So you've got a couple of Pitt County teams 1-0, Conley Rose, the rest trying to get their first win week 2 here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it was really a tough loss for South Central last week, playing a very good Kinston team. Had them on the ropes and just couldn't convert. Had drove down a couple times, turned the ball over early. And, they're trying for their first win tonight. Kendrick Parker looking for his first win as a head coach. And he's a really cool guy to get to know and talk with him about his South Central team. So excited to be there, and wish him nothing but the best.
Morgan Ahlers joining us. You'll hear from him coming up less than an hour from now on the High School Huddle. And we got D.H. Conley football, 7 o'clock tonight, taking on... Oh, wow. I did not know the nickname until I just saw the Pirate Radio graphic. Morgan, do you know the nickname of Cary High School?
The Tyrion Lannisters, the Imps.
The Imps, that is correct. Speaking of which, did you watch House of Dragons?
Yes, I did. Did you?
I did, and I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was very good. There was one scene in there that I was like, I think I could have done without that. But other than that, I think it's...
I didn't watch that one. I looked at my phone until the screaming, and I saw that scene was over, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah, that's...
But it felt like old school Game of Thrones, right? Like it kind of sucked me back in to the whole thing.
It did, and I think they did a really good job at the very beginning of tying it together as far as the year and the timeline and how things worked. And I think you're going to see, from just looking at the cast of characters online, the houses that you saw in Game of Thrones, the Lannisters, the Starks, the Baratheons. You're going to see those houses come into play as the season goes on, too. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, a little Game of Thrones talk here on a Friday. Nothing wrong with that. Episode 2 coming out on Sunday. So you got high school football tonight, Morgan. You got college football tomorrow. It is week 0, but Northwestern and Nebraska will be playing coming up at 12:30. Some in-state teams, North Carolina, Florida, A&M. Robert on Facebook. Go ahead.
Maybe they might play.
Well, so yeah, I guess an update on that. Pete Thamel says that they are indeed playing, according to sources, but they will be down. They will have, we said it earlier, I think, Morgan, 8, was it, offensive linemen available for the game tomorrow? That's a crazy situation.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if, how come Florida A&M didn't have all their ducks in a row prior to 2 days before the game. And then this starts coming out. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is.
Charlotte taking on FAU tomorrow night. Late night it'll be Vanderbilt, Hawaii. So you got a few games there. You also got the final weekend of the NFL preseason going on. Panthers and Bills tonight. Baker Mayfield named the starter week 1 for Carolina. He'll also get some action tonight as Matt Rule. We all saw it coming, right, Morgan, but finally made that decision this week.
And I think it was the right decision. I think Baker Mayfield gives you the best chance to win if you're Carolina. He's a lot more mobile, and they need that at times, versus Sam Darnold. I still think Sam Darnold can be a good quarterback. He's your traditional drop back passing quarterback, and I just don't think Carolina's built for that. As much as sometimes I think Matt Rule wants to be the smash mouth kind of coach, I just don't think Carolina's built for that right now. They don't have the personnel, so Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, gives them the best chance to win.
Yeah, and got that matchup week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. Baker will be fired up for that one coming up in a few weeks. So, Morgan, it's here, man. It's exciting. We are in the midst of it, and of course, week 2 of the high school football season, and we'll have week 1 of East Carolina. We'll wrap it up with some East Carolina talk, Morgan, and again, just things seem pretty smooth out there as far as we know right now. Any word from Holt? How did this mock game week go for ECU?
Everything. I've talked to them several times, and they've had a really good week of practice. I think early in the week they really got after it. The ones got after it, and they're putting in the game plan against NC State. From what I understand, I hear more from the coaches, just like you do. I try to talk with Holton a little bit. I do ask him about practice, but try not to want to know what else is going on in his life, so to speak. So
All right, well, tell us about that, Morgan. What's going on in Holton's personal life?
Oh, he's just playing football.
Last year, you were hyping up Ryan Jones, and turned out to be for good reason. And you really believed that he would become an impact, and he did. And we are excited to see him on the field this year. Who's your hype up guy right now, Morgan? That's going to have a big year. Can you give us another name? Because it worked last year.
Isaac Winstead.
Yeah, I figured that was coming. But man, everybody I talk to sounds like he's as advertised, Morgan.
Yeah, he is. I think it's going to be Isaiah. I think Jalen Johnson's going to be good. I think C.J. Johnson's going to have a really good comeback season this year. They get Josiah Hatfield back in a couple weeks, and I think that's going to be.
Has that been announced, by the way?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've read it online.
It appears the Pirates might be without Josiah Hatfield to begin the season for a couple of games.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, don't know the official wording on that,
Hoist
but
the colors.
There you go.
According to Hoist the Colors.
I'll give them credit for that. But yeah, and we see this and next week, those announcements come out. It seems like it always comes out while we're on the air for the Bud Light pregame tailgate or that Friday before the game that there's been a suspension or something happened. So it happens every year, folks. Go ahead and prepare for it this year. It'll probably happen once again. But Josiah Hatfield, we will be seeing him this season, but maybe not early on this season.
That's per Steve and I go and hoist the cup.
Morgan, have a great show coming up at 6 o'clock, man, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, bud. You guys have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir. Morgan Ahlers joining us on the Pit Electric live line. Shirley, let's unless you give me the frantic no, let's go booty bag here. Yeah.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
We need to get Bubba Sparks here for a Free Boot Friday.
Oh, no.
Who says no?
No. I'm just thinking, oh, no. That might be a problem.
Live booty. We could give away the booty bag live. He could come in here and sing the song. Hook it up. All right.
Talk to the Free Boot folks.
Shirley.
Uptown Greenville folks.
We know the prize because I got my eyes on the prize. 18 12-ounce Bud Light bottles. My only question for you is, what caller are you looking for?
12. Must be 21 or over.
Thank you for that. Caller 12. We're back with more Brian North after this.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Come party like a pirate at the official Pirate Radio Football Kickoff After Party at Dirty Dance. Dirty Dance is open 7 days a week and located on 4th Street, right beside the downtown parking deck. The McKell Buck Band will be the headliner of the after party, and anyone with a Pirate Radio Football Kickoff party ticket gets in free all weekend long. So keep the fun going at Dirty Dance all weekend long with live music, with the friendliest staff and the best drink specials in town. Get lucky at Dirty Dance.
So, how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So, Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
So, how does short points work?
Well, at Jersey Mike's, 6 regular number 13s plus 3 giant number 7s equals a free regular number 13. So, Pepsi and Lay's now earn more points towards free subs.
That adds up.
Exactly. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Hey Pirate Nation, Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop for all your tailgate essentials. This is Holton Ahlers, and if you need a Yeti cooler, apparel, shoes, or accessories for the season, Shimmer has you covered. Shimmer Boutique is also the exclusive retailer in Greenville carrying the largest selection of built and broken gear for adults and youth. Be ready for game day and every day at Shimmer Boutique on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks and in Winterville across from Lowe's. Go Pirates!
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are two things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is a family-run dealership that creates a family-like atmosphere for their customers. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has one of the biggest used car inventories in eastern North Carolina, and you can shop online at eastcarolinachrysler.dodge.com. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Memorial Drive. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is Clip Brock. By the way, congratulations to John Career of Greenville, whose day was made because he won the 18-pack of Bud Light bottles stuck on Fire Tower Road in traffic. So it made his day just a tad bit better.
That's what we do. Make you a winner. When things aren't going your way, count on Pirate Radio to brighten your day.
Especially if you're stuck in traffic on Fire Tower Road.
Well, now if you're stuck in traffic, you can hear this conversation with Brian North on the Pit Electric Live line, who joins us here on this Friday, getting ready for week 2 of the Blitz. North, how you doing today, man?
Doing just fine, Clippy. Our last kind of in between the holiday and the real big start of college football, and the high schoolers still trying to figure things out. This is always a fun time of year. Just happy to hopefully have a rain-free night.
Yes, sir. That would be fantastic, and hopefully we can get some games in. And, Brian, we'll go ahead and start there, week 2 of the Blitz. First of all, reaction from week 1, anything really stand out to you? Teams, players, anything jump out at you week 1?
Well, let's butter up to the host and say that your alma mater, Coach Conley, had a really nice road win at Laney. That was one that really kind of stood out. Low scoring as well. We're used to Nate Connor teams putting up a bunch of points and allowing a lot of points, but allowed 10 at Laney, scored 17, got the victory. So I thought that was one that really kind of turned my head a little bit. Outside of that, business as usual. Rose with their redemption tour, getting a big win. New Bern cruising at home. Havelock cruising. Maybe South Central, giving Kinston more of a fight than I think a lot of us thought. So good start for Kendrick. Parker and company at South Central playing well.
Yeah.
Now can they turn it around and get the victory against a West Craven team that also had a halftime lead and watched it slip away. So that'll be a good ball game. But, yeah, South Central, they kind of turned my head a little bit, even in a loss.
Conley 1-0, taking on Cary tonight. You can hear it right here on Pirate Radio, looking to get to 2-0. Can Rose get to 2-0? How about their matchup with Cleveland? Cleveland's been somewhat of a Pitt County killer, or at least a D.H. Conley killer in my eyes over the years. So how about Cleveland and Rose?
Boy, they've really turned that program up. And even with the Hampton kid now gone and playing at Chapel Hill, we'll probably see him on the field tomorrow night. They've got a lot of good players back, and they took out Cary, 55-12 or something last week. So they look really stout again, and they beat Rose last year. Got a running clock against Rose last year. So that was an eye-opener. Last year, the Rose Redemption Tour continues in the Clayton area. They have to go on the road. So can they? I don't know. But I'm not counting them out, but it's not going to be a walkover win by any means. That's going to be one of their toughest tests of the year.
Looking to see if C.J. Wilson can pick up a win tonight as they take on Manny O'Brien. Aiden Grifton will take on Kinston, Farmville Central, North Lenoir. A couple of Pitt County matchups there. Washington 1-0 against Northampton. Brian North and the crew will have it all. Week 2 of the Blitz coming up north. Any other games of interest tonight?
Well, outside of your coverage area, but well in ours, is the Southwest Onslow Richlands game, where Southwest Richlands has not beaten Southwest since 1988, and so they call it the streak. And it's one of those rivalries where Richlands always seems to be in the game and just finds a way to lose. And so that's what's made this streak so interesting to follow, and they have another chance tonight to break it. So that's one that catches our eye. Clinton at Wallace Rose Hill is always a battle of two of the top teams in the state. So that'll be a fun one. Havelock at West Carteret. West Carteret with a nice win to start the year. They're young. Do they have anything for Havelock? That's an old rivalry that's one-sided. We'll see if that changes at all tonight. So those are the real big ones. Kinston at Green Central, what we're calling the Thriller and Snow Hiller. We think that one could be a pretty good ball game as well.
All right, there you go. Brian North joining us today to talk some high school football, some East Carolina NC State football as well. Ruffin McNeil donning the red and the Wolfpack background spoke earlier today to media via Zoom. And always weird to see, Brian. I was thinking about, I guess, rivals crossing the lines and moving over to the enemy. And I guess it was probably a big deal for Packers fans when Brett Favre was wearing a Vikings jersey for a couple of years. And there's a lot of Yankees-Red Sox crossover. Johnny Damon, and before that, Wade Boggs. I guess Roger Clemens would be another example of that. So we've seen it before. I was thinking, Brian, what we really need, we need a North Carolina player to transfer to Duke to really seal the deal. That would be sacrilege right there, right?
Man, yeah, I never thought about that. I guess, not in basketball. It's never happened.
Yeah, and I'm talking basketball. Don't care if it happens in football. I'm talking basketball.
I don't know if it happens in any sport that I can think of when it comes to those two schools, but that certainly would be. But the way the transfer rules are becoming, I mean, I guess it could happen, which would be just absolutely plain nuts. That would be a Benedict Arnold status if that happened.
And but it was good to see Ruff today, regardless of the color he's wearing, and he'll be back in Greenville as the enemy coming up next Saturday, North.
Look, as you get through sports, you go through life in sports, you get relationships with people. The allegiances, I get, are great for some, and we all have them with our certain schools or teams. But you get to know people, and Ruff is as nice a person as you will ever meet. But look, you go where somebody's going to sign a paycheck, and Dave Dorn wanted to hire him on, and he's taking care of him. Ruff has been able to be near his dad in a assisted living facility, so it's all worked out. And I can't hold a grudge against Ruff, and I don't even know how much he really does at NC State. Where he's not on the field a lot.
Yeah,
certainly a consultant a lot of times. So it's a different feel, but I have zero problems with it because he was shown the door at East Carolina. A lot of people didn't like it, but he was shown the door, and that's just the way it went. And now he's getting a paycheck from NC State, and I can't begrudge the man for that.
Not only do I not have a problem with it, I applaud it, and I would be even more petty if I was Ruffin McNeil. I would embrace it to the nth degree because he was fired from East Carolina after a 5-7 year, and we don't need to rehash those times because times are pretty good here, Brian North, for East Carolina, and I'm starting to I don't know, get the 2007, 2008 feeling when Skip really started to get his guys in here and started building on the lines, and you just had a complete football team. And look, those teams weren't great, but they were really good. And week to week, they could beat anybody, slipped up here and there, but just starting to get that feeling a little bit with Mike Houston and his team.
I've been making that comparison since he was hired to when Skip Holtz took over for John Thompson, and same deal. And it wasn't perfect right away. There was steps they had to take every year and find ways to win games they couldn't. And, you know, I get a little worried that the fan base is going to become too unrealistic about this year's team and what they can do. And there's some tough games on that schedule, but it's the same deal. They can win every week and they can lose every week. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. It's just the way this team is set up, and they've got to learn some more success. Just because you've had one winning season for the first time in however many years it was, 7 years, it doesn't automatically mean you're going to start winning games. But what I see in practice, what I see from Mike Houston is the work ethic is there. When you still put in the work, it's when you don't work, when you get a little complacent, think you've earned that stuff without earning it, that's where you get complacent. But I don't think that's going to happen. But it's still, results are still going to are going to be hard to come by this season. There's some tough games on that schedule.
Yeah, and I've been cautioning people when they ask, you know, how's week one going to go? How's the season going to go? And I think the season's going to go good. I don't necessarily know if week one's going to go good. And that doesn't ruin the entire season if East Carolina does fall to the 13th, ranked team in the country. Yeah. And as you said, Brian, tough games on the schedule, and perhaps your toughest is right out of the gate here.
It is. Right now on paper, when everybody is healthy, if they camp that way, you look at both teams, and look, there's not a lot of weaknesses with this NC State team, and their quarterback throws as pretty a ball as you will ever see. And if ECU can't find a way to turn them over, if it's a game with 0 turnovers, it's going to be tough for the Pirates to win. I think they're in it. I think they can be right there, and I know Mike Houston is confident in his offense, but it's going to be one of those mistake games. Whichever team makes a mistake is going to be the one who loses. Neither makes a mistake, or it's going to be a tight ball game and maybe a last possession game.
Brian North joining us. North, are you planning on catching any week 0 action coming up tomorrow? How about Northwestern Nebraska live from Dublin, Ireland? Does that tickle your fancy at all?
That one probably won't make it into my viewing. I will probably try to check out the Tar Heels. The kids will go to bed, and I'll see what the new quarterback, Drake is all about, and some of our area guys, and see if they get to play. So I hate calling it week 0. I think that's one of the dumbest things we do in sports. But I will be watching some football just because it is football and it involves teams in our state and players from our area.
By the way, we are recording this, I'll go ahead and say, at around 2:10 p.m., there's some stuff going on around Twitter that Florida A&M has ineligible players and may have so many ineligible players they might not be playing the game tomorrow night. So this is all Twitter stuff, nothing verified, but it is floating around. So by the time this interview airs later today, maybe we'll have an update on that. But just something to keep an eye on. Also, Brian, competitive game, I think, tomorrow, Charlotte and FAU. Any local guys you know of playing with the 49ers this year?
Oh, gosh, I haven't looked at their roster yet. Yeah. We usually have a few every year, but none of significant impact.
Yeah. So
that UNC game, real quick. Florida A&M has 25 transfers, so I can see where they're issues. When you have 25 transfers on your roster, there's bound to be some transcripts that don't quite match up the way you thought they would.
Brian North joining us. Brian, you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I'm here, you're there, and we're ready to go for week 0, which Brian hates the term, and I apologize for using it there. Okay. Baker Mayfield going to get some action tonight. First time as the anointed starter for the Carolina Panthers, and apparently he's going to get a little bit of action here. Now that we have this 3-week preseason, coaches just copy each other for the most part, and it's probably a gentleman's agreement to back when you had 4 games to, all right, week 3, we're going to play the starters for a quarter and go from there. Now coaches are doing it different. This is the last preseason week. Some starters will not play at all. Looks like the Panthers are going to play theirs for a little while. So we'll see what Baker can do, one last dress rehearsal before they take on the Browns in a few weeks.
And I think it was smart to go ahead and name the starters so you can kind of just get all that stuff out of the way. Get the the media out of the way, get the pregame routine out of the way, do all those things. Same thing with Mac Brown at UNC. Name the starter a week in advance so they can go through those things. And now, let's see what they do out on the field and the chemistry that they have. And this 3-game preseason has been interesting. We always used to know first game they wouldn't play at all, second game they'd play a quarter, third game they'd play a half, fourth game it would be all scrubs playing. But now, everybody's doing it different, which makes it weird, which makes the results sometimes a little skewed because you're not playing your first team defense against your first team offense all the time. But I think the Panthers just need some confidence with Baker back there, get some good chemistry. They'll do some short passing, get some of those good vibes to jump into that regular season and give lots of people many things to talk about when they play the Browns.
Bills-Panthers tonight, 7 o'clock, Bank of America Stadium. Coming up Saturday night, it'll be Washington at Baltimore. Washington up against it, facing one of the craziest streaks in the history of mankind. The Ravens have won 22 preseason games in a row, Brian.
That's nuts. I've never heard of such a thing because coaches don't even try to win those things. And so it's just nuts that they've actually won that many in a row. But
I'm sure John Harbaugh wants to win, but there's got to be luck and some happy accidents mixed into most of those games, I would think.
There's no doubt. And, at some point you just want to even throw a game. So you don't even have to waste time talking about the worthless preseason. So that'll probably come to an end. But I've never heard of such a thing in the preseason when no one cares about the result except for the casual fan who still thinks it actually matters and they get upset when the team loses the preseason game.
The Ravens cannot lose when the games don't matter. Brian, a little NASCAR before we let you go. And I thought about this. Kurt Busch hadn't raced in a while with his concussion-like symptoms. And I was thinking, what would happen if he had to miss a race in the playoffs or two or all the playoffs? And, well, we got our answer. Kurt Busch will miss the start of NASCAR's playoffs, I guess beginning next week after the race in Daytona this weekend. And that means there will be 2 spots open for the 16-driver field. So you've got Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr. have not won races, but have pointed their way in right now. I think it's fascinating that this final race, though, is in Daytona, where you could have a random winner knock one of those guys out. So will Blaney and Truex be rewarded for having good, decent, not great seasons, or will somebody who sneak in, maybe they haven't won a race? It's going to be fascinating to see.
Is this a restrictor plate race? Is this all oval, or is this one of those half road course, half oval deals at Daytona?
Good question. CJ's not here. I believe this is the regular Daytona, but now that you asked that, I need to look into that.
Yeah, I haven't paid that close of attention to it, but I will tell you while you're looking it up, if it's a restrictor plate, that means somebody from the outside could sneak in and win, as we see in restrictor plate races. So it could be somebody else who takes one of those spots by picking up a win here, because all winners get in, and there's been 15 winners, but with Kurt not making it, 14 winners being eligible for the playoffs. So, somebody else could still sneak in and get a win and bump one of those guys out.
Brian North joining us, getting ready for the Blitz coming up tonight, as he'll have all the action covered week 2 of the high school football season. Getting into that routine, Brian, you'll throw in some ECU football in the mix next week. So I hope you're ready for it. It's going to be a busy time, going to be a fun time here.
It's going to be great with all the teams in the state, Wake Forest included, trying to figure out their quarterback issues. And the list goes on and on. There's never a shortage of stories when it comes to football and the talent we have out of here and the places all these guys play. So busy time. But the hardest part is trying to get it all in. We get to the point where we don't have enough time to get everything in with all of our great talent we have around here and all the teams. But we look forward to it. There's never a shortage of things to talk about.
North, have a great show tonight, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Clipper. We'll see you, bud.
Brian North joining us on the Pitt Electric Live Line. Since 1981, they have been here, and you can join that team today at pittelectric.com. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. More to go. Pirate Radio Live. We'll go inside the rage room, see if I'm raging about anything today. We'll have that for you when we return. The Anger Management Rage Room on a Friday edition of PRL after this.
Here today with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. Hey Jeff, how's inventory going?
Inventory levels are increasing. For the first time in over 45 days, we have Mazdas in stock, Buick in stock, Cadillac in stock, and GMC in stock. I highly encourage the customer to go to gmc.com, build and price their vehicle, share that with Brown & Wood, and let us place your order. We need some price protection for these customers, and you got to place an order to have that.
Brown & Wood, your #1 dealership in Greenville, and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
When it comes to hauling dirt, asphalt, or stone, you can trust the pros at First and Goal Hauling Incorporated. They have a fleet of dump trucks ready to get the job done. And best of all, it's owned and operated by ECU football alum Dakota Marshall. When you have a big job and you need it done right, count on First and Goal Hauling, where it's a touchdown every time. Keep up with Dakota Marshall and First and Goal Hauling by following them on Facebook today.
Beauty Bar Medispa wants to know if you are ready to fall into beauty. October 7th through the 14th, all services and products will be on sale. Botox, filler, painless laser hair removal, facials, RF microneedling, rejuvenating laser treatments to treat brown spots, wrinkles, texture, veins, and skin tightening. And now, the only facility in the area to offer non-surgical under-eye fat pad treatments. BeautyBarMedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Go Pirates!
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
That perfect tractor package you've been eyeing at Quality Equipment just got a little more perfect. Haul your next 1, 3, or 5 Series John Deere tractor off the lot on your brand new trailer. Visit our site at QualityEquip.com to add it to your package. Start with Quality Equipment to get any task done right. We've got the full line of John Deere equipment priced right with low monthly payments and special financing. Plus, we service everything we sell. Visit QualityEquip.com to see our latest offers.
Christie's Europub is the perfect place to relax, grab a bite, and enjoy a drink. Located in the heart of Greenville and just a few blocks from ECU's campus, Christie's offers lunch, dinner, and late night with live music every Sunday. Come and have brunch Monday through Friday from 11 to 3 or Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 4. Scratch cooking takes time, so relax and enjoy a pint at Christie's Europub today. For the latest information, check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit them online at christieseuropub.com.
For the latest from the world of golf. Tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
This is Holt Ahlers, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Let the bass kick. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years, and it's your premier country store serving the best cheese, biscuits, and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for boat owners. Country Mart fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now let's head back into PRL. We're letting the bass drop. Here's Clip.
Letting it drop. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes. CJ Schaefer here. Very excited about tomorrow, personally, because I will be attending the I'll have to ask the guys, 22nd annual Pitt County Fantasy Football Draft. And I'll be watching college football as I do it. I mean, that just sounds like a perfect day to me. So I am very excited. What are you going to be doing tomorrow at 12:30, CJ?
Watching Arsenal play.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
I got 2 TVs, so I can watch.
You got a double TV.
Yeah.
Is Arsenal still perfect on the year?
They are.
Wow. All right. Go Gunners.
There you go, Clip.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, right. Well done. Well done.
Yeah. Shirley, what are you going to do at 12:30 tomorrow?
I am going to be awaiting game 1 of 2 games I'll be doing tomorrow for ECU volleyball.
All right. So you do have a sports-filled day.
Yes.
It sounds like at Minges Coliseum.
I'll be doing PA for the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games.
Good deal. Good stuff. All right. Fire up the music. Let's get angry for a moment. Let's get our rage out, because going into a weekend,
you got to get it all out of your system.
Get it out, man. Don't let this anger continue throughout the weekend. Get it out now. Head over to the Anger Management Rage Room. You can book your therapy session today at angermgmtnc.com. That's anger, the word anger, mgmtnc.com. You can smash, bash, and destroy objects in a design rage room so you can do it safely, get the anger out, and not get arrested. It's a great deal, and it's right here in downtown Greenville, angermgmtnc.com. I might not have one today, but Shirley, I do have this. Guess what I saw earlier this week?
What did you see earlier this week?
I was in the drive-thru. This doesn't bother me necessarily. This is a Shirley rage. But I saw a person at the drive-thru with their door open.
Killing me.
But there's icing on this cake. Not only was the door open, guess what else?
They were halfway out of the car.
The door was open, they're talking, and the window's down. I swear to God. Swear to you.
My head would have exploded.
I was like, look, there's a person with their door open. This will be funny to tell Shirley. Oh my God, their window is down. Why is their door? What are they doing? It was the craziest thing.
I can't.
I almost took a picture of it. I was scared she would see me, and then start her own rage incident.
Ugh.
So there you go. Just wanted to pass that along to you.
Okay.
You guys raging about anything?
I do have a sports rage.
Yeah.
And it kind of came to my mind because of something you mentioned in your interview with Brian North. You mentioned Ryan Blaney having like a decent season, not a great season, but honestly, that's wrong because he's having a great season. And I know you didn't mean it that way. You correct me because you're the NASCAR guy. In fact, I probably didn't word it because I believe, is he like second in top 10s? He is. Yeah, he has 12 top 10s, which is one less top 10 finishes than Kyle Larson has, who is second in total points accumulated this year.
Yeah.
If Kyle Larson had not won the race last week, Ryan Blaney would still be second in total accumulated points. So we almost had, now Kurt Busch not making the playoffs frees up 2 spots, which pretty much assures that Ryan Blaney will make the playoffs. But let's say like this weekend, a great Daytona racer like Bubba Wallace would have won. Well, that would have knocked Ryan Blaney out of the playoffs if Kurt had stayed. And suddenly we have the third best driver based on just straight finishes and how many points you have missing the playoffs.
Let's do a hypothetical. The big one happens early, and Blaney's involved on lap 5, and then Martin Truex finishes second, and Bubba Wallace wins the race. Bubba's in. Is Truex in over Blaney? Like, what has to happen for Blaney not to get in instead of Truex?
There is. It looks like Ryan Blaney has about 30-something points on Martin Truex Jr., so it's feasible.
It could happen,
yes.
But it is, yeah.
Truex would have to now if both of those things happen and Truex placed pretty high in both stages, because those get you points as well.
Yeah.
Then it gets a little
all right.
hectic.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Just curious.
It could happen.
So your rage is what? They need to change the format of how they do it?
I just think it's a little ridiculous that you put so much of an emphasis on winning that consistently, because there's guys, let's take Ross Chastain. He's got, I believe, 2 wins on the year, but he's under Ryan Blaney in points. Ryan Blaney has more top 5s than him. He has more stage wins than him. So he's been consistently, every week, he's been running better than him overall. But
and that should be rewarded. Consistency, great season. But what you said is just inherently wrong. You can't say you're putting too much emphasis on winning.
Yeah.
That bothers me. I know what you're trying to say.
I saw your body language when I said that, and I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I should have like reworded that.
Nah, but I hear you. Maybe you should have a wild card spot or something that automatically gets in if you're having a season like Blaney. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix it.
I think part of this isn't an issue. This is a good thing. With the changeover to the new car, it puts a lot of the outcome back in the driver's hands, and you have to fight the car to race it now, and you have to really drive this car. It's not just, you can't just ride it around for 300 laps and expect to pull in a top 5 finish. So that's why we have so many unique winners now, including Ross Chastain, who is pretty high up there in the playoffs.
All right, thank you, CJ. So is that Saturday night, Sunday night, Sunday afternoon?
Saturday night at, I believe, 7.
Okay. So double TV, football, and racing on.
Right.
Shirley, do you have a rage today?
I have 2 rages. The first one, look, I like to eat, so I go through a lot of drive-thrus.
That is well documented.
It's well documented that I like to go through a drive-thru. If you are operating said drive-thru, and what I mean by that is if you are working at a restaurant and you are working the drive-thru, when you say, may I take your order, and I give you the order, but yet I have a specific request to said order, please do not interrupt me while I am in the process of telling you what it is that I like specifically with my order. For example, I went to a local restaurant that serves milkshakes.
Does it bring some of the boys to the yard or all the boys to the yard?
It brings none of the boys to the yard. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Anyway, so I ordered a milkshake. I said, may I have a chocolate chip mint milkshake with, before I even got the word extra out of my mouth. Will that complete your order? No, it will not complete my order. Hold your horses just a half second for me to say, I'd like extra mint in my milkshake.
Oh, I thought you were going to say extra chocolate chips.
Well, no.
Well, that's my rage now. What is that?
No. Extra chocolate chips is fine. But now, the reason why I say extra mint is sometimes they will give you a ton of chocolate chips, but not enough mint.
Okay, that's fair.
So, that is number 1. Do not interrupt me. Wait. Give it a half second.
You said don't interrupt you?
The camera's on. I can't do what I want to do.
Is that your only rage?
No. Second rage.
Are you done with your first rage?
Yes, I'm done with my first rage.
Is your first rage completed?
Bite me.
Pull up to the first window.
Okay, second rage. And anyone who flies in a plane can relate here. Under no circumstances.
Why is your sleeve rolled up? Are you flexing while you do this?
No, because I'm mad. I'm mad if I start hiking up my
I'm starting to get nervous.
Yeah, the guns are out.
Sorry.
The guns are out.
I was just wondering.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So, if you are on a plane and you have luggage in the compartment above you, okay? when the plane lands and it's time to get off the plane. If you are in the back of the plane, do not get up and grab your luggage and begin to walk down the aisle while other people are still sitting. Do it like normal folks. Begin at the front, let the people in the front, and then work your way back. It gets off the plane so much quicker. You standing in the middle of the aisle halfway up the plane because you're trying to rush yourself, it doesn't do you any good. Sit back down. There's not enough space on the plane to start with, so you and your giant bag that you just crammed in there, so to save yourself some money to, in terms of paying for baggage fees and not checking your bag. I don't need to see your ass in my way because you want to hurry up and get off the plane. It's your fault that your plane seat was way in the back. I'm in the middle. I can't get up and get out of my seat in a normal capacity when everybody else is following the pattern. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Wait your turn.
There's a theme to Shirley's Rages today.
Yes.
And that theme, I'm going to say it. Axl Rose sang it. Patience.
Of course.
Need a little patience.
I have none, and everybody else needs it.
Everybody because look, in today's society, we got fast internet speeds and instant coffee. And have you seen these microwaves? You put something in there, boom, it's hot in like 30 seconds. It's crazy.
We have Twitter. We have instant access to instant information.
Everything is in. Hey, sometimes you gotta take a breath.
You have instant coffee.
You gotta relax. I just said that.
Instant tea.
Instantly.
Instant
gram.
All right. Well done, sir.
Just
sit your ass back down. You're not getting off the plane any faster.
Shirley, I'm trying to be polite about it. Just relax, people.
No. You're telling people to relax. I'm telling people I want to get off the plane too. But you coming from the back and holding everybody up.
They need to relax.
They need to sit their ass back down because I can't get off the plane. And that means I have to wait for you to go by before I can get up and get my luggage out of the compartment. No. Do it like normal folks do. Work your way back. Wait for everyone else.
All right.
You're sitting in the back of the plane. I'm in the middle of the plane. I should not see you at any point in time come up to my section of the plane. Sit down.
I know it's not the David Price Construction countdown to kickoff, but I need the hard hat.
We need the hard hats. Anger management, rage room, whatever's making you furious, you can get all that anger out in a safe way and really a fun way. Greenville's premier rage room. Go ahead and book your therapy session today. Anger, MGMTNC.
I need to hit something.
.com.
And don't forget, if you have anything that you don't need anymore, they will take donations.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
One of our listeners, Susan Deans, I believe, said it was a television she donated.
Television, microwave, computer, whatever.
Hey, whatever works or doesn't work.
So, Shirley, do you feel better now?
I feel better, but the next time I get on the plane, I'm going to punch somebody if they come up from the back of the plane and try to do that.
This had the opposite effect. Now Shirley's angry as we leave the show.
I think that's what's happening.
Oh, no,
here.
I'm fine.
All right.
No, I'm fine.
CJ,
if I was still angry, I'd be yelling at you, CJ, and I'm not doing that.
Let's wrap up the show and rush out of here and get in Shirley's way as we exit the studio.
Oh, my
God.
God.
There's only one alleyway right here. We'll sit in it.
I got a volleyball game I got to call.
What's that mean?
Folks, we'll see you Monday, 3 o'clock. Are you showing up at yours 8 hours early like Chandler, or are you going to get there at a normal time?
No, I'm going to get...
Sorry. Had to get one more
I
in.
am going to laugh hysterically if I walk in there and he's still in there.
I hope he is. Please heckle him for me. All right, we'll see you Monday, 3 o'clock on a Players Lounge edition of Pirate Radio Live. For Shirley Rhodes, CJ Schaefer, and the crew, I'm Clip Brock. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the football tomorrow, folks. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation